we are playing Group E. Group E, a very interesting group. Doctor, Clown, Artist, Hag, and Demogorgon. Demogorgon will not be playing in round 1. We'll start with Doctor versus Clown. Let's connect for the shade. Okay. Pivot to Steve. Pivot to the person who's not got a pallet. Good play, honestly, from Steve. Should still be an M1 here. There it is. But a couple of pallets burn, hoping for no any means necessary, of course. Ah, that's rubbish. Vault through. That connects. No pallet burn. Should be a dying state. It won't be. Yeah. Whew. Okay, a tough opening in all sincerity. Get a kick out here, just see if there's anyone around. Is Cenobite all that important considering you've got shock therapy and you can get intel that way? Good point, good argument. I can understand the validity of such a statement. Do lose that gen, a shame. Not an awful start for Doctor. Get to dying state. Albeit after something of a run around and a pretty quick unhook there. Okay. And Tori's been a bit concerning. Tori's been a bit of a gamer. At least in the early stages. Is that true? No, she burnt the pallet and then Doctor moved away. Really giving the huge benefit of the doubt there. Nonetheless, he'll be looking to get another hook on the board before another gem pops. There's your M1. And to cowshed is Tori. Good connection. And a shot here. Ooh! Doctor thinking that Tori was going to go for the vault entirely, the pallet burn. A surprise, but maybe not an unwelcome surprise, getting rid of a very, very strong tile. Maybe you get the sense that this Tori is someone who's very happy to burn pallets. Shock there. Doesn't connect. They might vault with that. Sometimes a missed shock for Doctor can be an opportunity. Not on that occasion. Wise from Tori. And the Fog Vial denying nowhere to hide. Not a bad play. Going to get a shock therapy out there. Or static blast out there, sorry. But already this is looking like a mighty slow beginning to proceedings. And there goes another gen. There's that one that he had kicked previously. Ace, bit of a free hit. Doctor very happy to take those sorts of interactions. The yellow gen over there, remember, that'll be Eruption. And there's Dying State, okay. Someone in chat has said in all caps, Alan Partridge. I'm going to keep saying it until someone agrees. I agree. Can you shut up now? Thank you. Doctor, going on hook. And before someone on YouTube is like, 4 minutes 27. I can't believe how nasty Slate is to the chatters. You're not here. You don't know what it's like. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Right, so second hook, 3 gens left for Doctor. Good stag blast there, lots of intel. Shock maybe would have been wise to prevent the vault. No matter, it will be an injury. Trying to deny the vault, not going to be able to. Late on the shock. Been a bit maybe lethargic with the M2. This game has Doctor. Not got any value from it at all beyond, you know, latent madness, which is not doing too much for him. No pallet here. Wants to try and deny the vault. Not going to be able to again, but they're not going to be able to vault back. So there we go. M2 finally getting some value for Doctor. Could it be too little too late? the screaming of Steve. Punctuation points to a very unimpressive game so far for Doctor. But it is still all to play for. Shock, Static Blast around the shack. They're just going to flee the scene. Getting Eruption on that gen is important. Getting Overcharge, very important. And this might be a bad chase for Doctor. No gens over this way. Maybe you want to come back and try and take advantage of what is, in fairness, a very, very good 3-gen for Doctor. And Steve taking him to shack is exactly what he wanted. Shock here. That will deny window. Big opportunity here for Doc. One more shock to deny the vault back. And it won't quite deny the pallet, but not it force the pallet burn, it will. As it stands, it looks like it really has just been outplayed, Doctor. Every chase taking a bit too long. Survivors just finding their tiles. Dead Heart here would be ruinous. You're going to try and fake out with an M2. Good stuff. Tori nearby, maybe looking for a Sabo. Doctor going to hook. Second hook for Steve. And Steve, in all sincerity, could be providing a way back here for Doctor. Static Blast. See where Tori's gone. All the way over there. 2 people over there. Interesting. Still, if you're Doctor, you want to keep this 3-gen on side. You know that Ace has been trying to move this one. He is once again. We'll take a hit for his trouble. Ace has given away a couple of free hits to Doctor. Ace could be a real path back into this game. As he unhooked for Steve and then ridiculously fast. Heal. Probably Resurgence there. One would not be surprised at all. Taking chase of Tori. Looking for the M1. Gets it. Bit lucky on that one, perhaps. Coming back for the kick. And then going to put more pressure on the 3-gen. Fog Vial, but you know where Sable is, so maybe Doctor can make a play of some kind. Nope. Never mind. But the shock there should prevent the vault. That will be an injury. But they're doing well, this team. They're resetting and they're moving gens. It's a scary combo. Gotta focus on Sable here. Big, big eruption rewards if Doctor can close this chase down quickly enough. Does he force Sable with this move? Not really. Not at all. Been a lot of this for Doctor, seeing survivors way in the distance. One well-placed shock will deny the pallet. They're not even going to go for it. And protection hit from Ace. Desperately unfortunate. Tori moving in. Steve moving in. Ace has overcome. Get some big distance there. However, all of a sudden, a 3-injury situation. I mean, injuries are fine for Doctor, and you're grateful to have them. But it's that one dying state that you need. That one dying state to bring this game back. As there's Steve over here, finding ways to find healthy parties is the Doctor, in spite of all logic and rationality. Shock there, should deny the pallet. It does. Injury. And Steve gets the pallet. Won't be able to vault back. There's your dying state. Massive, massive eruption hit here. And now, a hook and 3 injured parties. Has Doctor found his way back into this one? It's a kill. It's a kill. Forgot about that Steve was death hook. Now, all of a sudden, big gen regression across the board. The team has to reset. That gen's fully regressed. Do you know how much Ace was trying to keep that one on side? This is outrageous stuff. As the injured party goes through the window, it's Ace Visconti giving away another free hit. Well, well, well. Could the tide be turning here? And you've got to say, good stuff from the Doctor. Had a really slow start and a slow middle game. Never gave up. Made plays, kept himself in it. And now, all of a sudden, you've got Ace on second hook, Steve out the game, and Sable and Tori have a huge rebuilding effort to make here. Trying to get back on this gen. Not quite able to do it. Doctor has both survivors in front of him. Now, surely you're thinking about ways to keep the survivors away from Shaq and away from the gen, and that's exactly what Doctor's going to do, moving back. Sable moving around the far side there. Almost certainly the person who will be looking to move in for the save. There are scratch marks. But they're going to be pushed away. Back to Tori. Doctor here thinking, absolutely happy to trade out that gen if it means a 2-survivor situation. That's what he's going to do. Going after Sable here, keeping an eye on Tori. No scratch marks. Tori presumably focusing on the gen. Static Blast just to see. Yes, indeed, and there's the kill. Wow, what a good, smart bit of positioning, zoning from Doctor, knowing where the game was, knowing where the team was, and getting himself a very, very fortuitous 2-survivor kind of situation. As there's Tori Kane, finding himself on the wrong side of the vehicle. That pallet burnt very, very early on, so an injury, and maybe more besides. Massive regression on the gen to the right. Sable was over there, might now be moving this gen. The pre-drop. Sable. Okay. Tori might be giving up here. Indeed they are. Gonna take that hook. No chance of death hook, so plenty of time to find Sable thereafter. And plenty of intel at the Doctor's disposal. And there they are. Wow, just like that. Could be the beginning of the end. Sable going around this way. Some weirdness from Tori. I wonder if there's no love lost between Tori and Sable here. The scratch marks suddenly end. That is very aggravating. Very aggravating for Doctor. Where on earth could they have gone? Injured party. No bloodstains. No scratch marks. What is happening? Any chance of aura reading? With nowhere to hide. Tell you what, the static blast wouldn't go amiss maybe before Tori is able to move off the hook. What does that tell you? No intel from that static blast tells you very high chance they could be in this corner. Oh, it's Hatch! It's Hatch Shaq! Oh, dearie me! He's forgotten all about Hatch Shaq! Oh, but he's not punished. Oh. A tremendous misplay from Doctor there. A Sable heals, but not with adrenaline. There was a little bit of a delay with the heal. Could it be in a strength? Could it be a medkit? Who can say? Could it just be weird lag to do with the server? It's entirely possible, as there she is. In that corner all along. It is likely at this point. No matter. Barring something truly miraculous for Sable and disastrous for Doctor. That should be the 4K. Or self-care, very true. Shock there. Should be the beginning of the end. GG. G. And a basement hook to boot, why not? Whoa, what a performance. A slow start. Found his way into the game, did Doctor. Ruthlessly efficient towards the end. Marvellous work. Right. On Crotus Pren. See what Doctor can do. Aura and Exhaustion. Brilliant. Here we go. No gem movement over here. Nor here. Okay, maybe actually moved too quickly through the patrols. The survivors haven't had time to establish themselves on the gens yet. Okay, here we go. Get some speed out there. Don't get the speed. There we go, there's your speed. Should be an injury. Not quite. Yes, quite. Really quickly get that pallet kicked. Get the speed. There's a dying state. They must have ran into the wall there. Good start. Good start. Aha. Gem movement to the left. Okay. So Clown's picking up the haste. Pivoting that way. Just denying the blinds, good stuff. They go for the blinds again. They did get it. That is Champion of Light. They'll get the Vault and be on their way. Gotta be a kick here. Get the kick. Reload. Move over. Try and get some slowness around there. Good stuff. Nice. Just gets the injury through the pallet. Good combination of bottles from the Clown. That's what he needs to do. If he's going to match the Doctor's total. Good utilization of both bottles here. That was unbelievably greedy. I'll tell you what, if the survivors simply throw their pallets, Clown might still be looking for his first hook. As it stands, second hook acquired with a gen popped. Not a bad situation. And just getting the speed there and moving in. Okay. No movement there. There has been movement on this gen. They're going to get back onto it. Not quite connecting with that bottle. Good stuff. The haste. The only reason Clown gets that hit. Trying to keep on Rebecca. Another situation there where the bottle in hand becomes a different bottle. Just a bit of a weird visual glitch. Nothing more. Okay, getting the kick. Getting the haste. Keeping on them. Wise from Rebecca to be throwing these pallets. Right, back on them with this haste. They're not throwing that one. Could that be a mistake? Doesn't look like it. Good stuff from Rebecca, very close. Right, done a lot of map management there. But not getting a lot done besides that, so maybe time to move away for Clown. Although not a lot of gen movement. Come back. Oh, I mean, it's just such a tough tile. It was a bit of a Hail Mary for Clown to try and get that hit. More haste. And maybe you do go after Nancy here. Rebecca's kind of proven themselves. Oh. And it's a medium vault, which would have been punished were it not for the body block. Right, reload. Oh, there you go again. Misplays on the pallet. Keeping the Clown in with a chance. That was a rough exchange. So that was... wrong bottle. That was the gen that was moving. And it continues to move. Great kick opportunity. Clown will take that every day of the week. Someone over there... got to be thinking about a way to close down the chase with Rebecca though, right? Oh, and they get a bit confused. And that will be a dying state. As they were trying to move that gen along, but Eruption stops them. And that gen, alas, does pop. Okay, so, good intel pretty much across the board here. If you're Clown, as soon as this unhook happens, I think you've only got eyes on one person, right? Nancy affords the clown a way to bring this back. To get it to a 3 survivor situation. Oh. He chose to go bottle. Rather than take the hit, and he's paid the price. That would have been a dying state, would have been a kill. Now, as it stands, he's come out of that with nothing at all. Pop goes a weasel. On this gen, moving back. Healing party over here, no bottles in the clown's possession. That's a bit tough. However, they just weren't quite aware of the path he was taking. So, another dying state. Oh, you would have loved to have a 3 survivor spot. Closing down that chase with Nancy. Whiffing at the window. It's a long road back now. He's doing a good job of keeping that one pressure point in check. At least there is that. As there are parties around, Shaq, Rebecca is not the survivor the clown wants to be taking on here. You've managed to keep the game a little bit nicely under wraps here. Maybe pivot away from such a potentially horrible chase. Take on some of these survivors over here. The kick there, mainly for aura reading, also for the potential of eruption down the line. And they get the quick vault. That's really well done. Not an easy quick vault to make. Get that through that window. Not bad. That'll just push them away from the tile entirely. The haste, very important. And there is your M1. Go again. Pre-drop here would make a lot of sense. Not bad. You stay in the speed while you're kicking the pallet. You regain it here. Slowness there. If I'm them, I'm not burning immediately, and they're wise to not do so. Come around, Volt. Oh, they don't. Well played. Honestly and sincerely, a very, very good effort. They've got so much distance there. If they go back to the pallet, though, they get to the window and they make it. Some ridiculous loops going on here. Clown's got to reload, and the game might be falling apart right in front of him. He loses that gen, the one that he was aiming to keep in play with so many kicks. A chase with Nancy, especially in this area, so depleted at this point of all its pallets. A good opportunity, especially if people do move in, to try and make some saves, body blocks, protection hits, all that kind of thing. Bamboozle there, very important. Get the haste. Close things down. They get the haste as well. Here's what it is. There's your... Yes, there. So it will be a kill. An eruption on that gen is important. No doubt they're moving another gen along. There's been a lot of gen pressure from this team. Clown might be forgetting that he has Bamboozle, a very good perk in chase. Chat might be forgetting that I can handle the commentary. Right, good opportunity for a kick here. Nowhere to hide. Oh, swings too early, but Rebecca walks into a chair. But there's big, big movements. The clown has to pivot. And then more aura reading. Just a simple mistake with that bottle. They might double back immediately. They do not. Okay, good call. Good call. This is still regressing. As is that. Now, weirdly, you actually would not mind finding Rebecca at this stage. Oh, that's not Rebecca. It's the Lita. Still a good opportunity for a chase. Is that sprint burst? They seem to have a lot of speed as they fled there. Oh, lucky that connects. Right, Bamboozle. To keep on them. Little stinkers. They do get the pallet. So they fall back immediately. Oh, the medium vault is such an ambitious play. Almost worked out for them. Okay, hook for clown. Necessary. Very, very necessary. Now the team is going to really be focused on this gen. Can clown get back there in time? Oh, aggravating seconds here. No! Outrageous. Unbelievable. Got to keep on Rebecca. Double back immediately. They're not going to make that play. They've not made that several times. Oh, they do, but they were waiting. This is a good team, and Clown has really met his match. Unhook has not come through yet. If there is hope, it lies in the unhook, but you need it to be a bit more delayed than that. And that bottle doesn't connect. Come back around. Pre-drop there, no doubt about it. Oh. I get the kick. And just way too slow to do anything here. Champion Light has been a ruinous perk for Clown. Is there any chance they're still healing over here? There is a heal. No clue where. Wrong bottle, wrong bottle. Get the pallet kicked. He's falling apart in the end game. Right, well, you had an opportunity with Rebecca. You weren't able to close it down. Now with your Clown, it's damage limitation. Patrol the exit gates. See if you can bring this back. You're relying on altruism. The gate is 99. The gate is open. What can you do here? Maybe find Rebecca. Go for a dying state. Hope they make a mistake in being altruistic and getting the unhook. Maybe hoping that the heal was in a very distant location over here. If you find a healthy party close to the gate, it's over. You know, guaranteed. Clown needs to hope he can find someone in these far reaches, but it seems very unlikely. And there you go, it's all over. GG's! Doctor gets a handy win over Clown. Doctor gets the win. Clown suffers the opening round loss. And that will be the starts for Group E. Artist versus Hag. If there were like over-unders in this tournament, you'd be seeing a very, very, very pro-artist kind of line for this game. Clearly the favourite. But you never know. It's not a great map for her. Up and down gens here. We'll see what she can do. Just waiting on Discordance before sending out a crow. But won't be waiting forever. Maybe going to put a crow just on that gen to have a look. No one there. Okay. Now, if you're artist, you really do not care about the upstairs gens. You're barely going to patrol them, in all honesty. Would much rather keep eyes on the gens you can patrol with the crows. As there is a crow. Now, will Michaela hop in a locker to rid themselves of the crow and allow for Iron Maiden value? That would be great. See if it happens. They're repelling. Could be a big opportunity here for Artist. Does this connect? Give it a go. Oh, just a bit to the left of them. Still, not a bad tile, because as Artist, you can very simply put a crow right here, move back. They're not going to vault back. There's your M1. Okay, good stuff. And why not just send it? Just send it to get the cooldown going. Michaela may think that's BM. It isn't. The Artist just wanted to get back into the crows as soon as possible. Pain res. Huge for the Artist here. There was a bit of movement there, and someone was on it. Hold, 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 and send. Oh, no chance. Unfortunate. Wanted to basically guess at where this fight was going, but didn't quite land the crow where she wanted. And there's a boon. And it could be Shadow Step. And Shadow Step is ruinous on a map like this, so gotta snuff that when you see it. See it, say it, snuff it. There's a tap. With a Fog Vial. Does he use it? We've seen time and time again how the Fog Vial can be more anti-survivor than it is anti-killer. I wonder if that'll be the case here. As the crow connects! They're gonna try and go upstairs. No, they're not. Could be an injury, could be dying state. It will be! You really thought Tap would be making a beeline to the stairs to try and avoid the crow injury. They do no such thing. And that will be another dying state for Artist. And this is the Artist we've been used to seeing. Very strong start from her. Another Pain Res hook. Discordance over there. Send the crow. It does connect. Good stuff on Michaela. Big opportunity here for Michaela. Looking for an injury. Connects. And gets Killer Instinct on someone upstairs over there. But gotta be thinking about sticking on Michaela. No doubt about it. Big opportunity for a relatively early second hook stage. That's a bit of a gimme for Artist. Makes a lot of sense. As Michaela circles around. Maybe keeps on moving. They do indeed. Where on earth are they? There they are. Put that a little bit on the right-hand side. Has a chance. Oh, just misses. Just a whiff. Bit of a whiff with the crow. Don't want to be doing too much of that. Oh, this door! This door is ruinous. That's how Larry's can be so... Not Larry's. That's how Hawkins... Larry's has a similar problem. How Hawkins can be so ruinous when you're trying to preempt where the survivor's going. Maybe take a more efficient line. Michaela surely is not going for a hole. No, they are dropping down. Pre-drop of a pallet. They're just moving. This is tough stuff. Maybe put a crow on that pressure point. Okay, no one on that gen is huge. As Michaela keeps on moving. And then doubles back. And there they are. Okay, finally. Closing down the chase, but had them on a merry little runaround there, did Michaela. No reason to go for the pain res hook, especially not if you have to walk under a pallet to make it happen. No discordance here is interesting. Put pressure on both of these gens. And a connection over here. Boone's back, and it is Shadow Step. Iron Maiden over there too. Okay, the process for the Artist. Snuff the Boone. Get back over there. Try and take advantage of Iron Maiden. Unhook over there. Do they heal on hook? Send a crow just in case. They do not. Very wise from the team. Wise from the team to not go for the heal under the hook. That is where Artist will make a lot of her plays. Even if this is the Iron Maiden survivor. And it isn't. No chance, they're still exposed. There's a fog vial. And we did say that can be more ruinous for the survivor than the killer, and indeed that is the case. Tap says, what? But I used the fog vial and then went around a corner. Well, I'm not playing the game if you're obviously hacking. Fair enough, mate. Up you go. It won't give us another pain res token. But it is an important hook. Another opportunity for a death hook. Michaela! Injured! Need an injury here. Gets an injury, and on Michaela. Michaela will keep on running away from the gen. A chance that the Artist meets them around the corner here. Absolutely tremendous from the Artist. It is true artistry. There's the unhook. Do they heal under the hook? Send the crow just in case. Then get the hook. Double crow situation. Get this hook. They probably repel. Before the Artist has a chance of sending them back. In fact, it does look like Tap might be taking his ball and going home. Will it be a 2-survivor situation with 4 gens left? Yes. Deary me. They can't handle it. They don't want it. And as long as you can avoid some hatch silliness here, it could be a very, very simple... A very simple 4K situation for the Artist. But again, hatch is an issue on Hawkins. Don't get it twisted. There's the immediate injury on Lara. Is this Lara? It is not, unfortunately. Injury there. But what a game this is so far from Artist. But the fear is, neither of these gamers have been hooked. There is a world in which Sable moves all the way through the hook stages, Artist unable to find Lara, Lara gets hatch, all of a sudden from a really, really powerful game, Artist has 9 hook stages, a very beatable score. So gotta be really careful here. Sending crows, hoping that they randomly find Lara, but very little chance. Okay. Big gen movement over here. There's the unhook! Huge. Okay. Honestly and sincerely, you do kind of want that to happen if you're the Artist, and scratch marks head not to the right. Ideally, looking for Lara. Who do you find? It's Lara. It's Lara. Lara just gives you... Lara's first hook gives you more time to find Sable. Maybe close this thing down. gets a dying state. Okay. And send some crows all the way down Main Street, all the way down the map, just in case you get lucky. Ooh! The aura reading! Over there! Why? Object of obsession? Have we just not paid attention to that? Dead hard. There it is, GG! Grim Embrace gives aura reading. Oh, well, there you go, I didn't know that. It's a dominant display from the artist. She is a perennial favourite in this tournament, and it is going to be the same again this year, if she keeps up that kind of form. Garden of Joy for Hag. I think early doors, you may be... Oopsie daisy. Frames, my glorious frames, everything's okay. Early doors, if you're Hag, you want to be protecting these traps, these totems, sorry, with traps that are obviously so important to your game state, and it allows you to do an ambient patrol. Keep an eye on the game state. Did someone bring a reagent? This looks like a reagent situation to you. Possible. This feels good. Nice gentle start to proceedings here. We've had some high octane games recently. Nice to keep things maybe a bit more chill with Hag. Things will very swiftly be unchill. Hold on. They've immediately disarmed the trap over here, right? No. No, the trap is just behind the totem. Okay. Opening chase. Pretty free hit there. You take that. And maybe you leave them injured, head over here, trap this. Someone triggered a trap over there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so the traps are on the totems. Now you've got to find ways to trap other places. Keep the game on side. Dying state right here is huge. Again, pretty free. Bounce landing! Ugh. Had to swing early, you knew it was in play. Grab off the totem is absolutely ideal. And that is exactly why you love the Rusty Shackles. That is 100% why you love the Rusty Shackles. Huge. Get another couple out there, why not? Okay, good work. After what was a really disappointing miss on the balanced landing survivor, to be able to get that grab is huge. There's your M1. Moving back over here. And the trap that's on the totem could be important here. There's the unhook. Oh, they've not triggered any of the traps. There you go. Nice state there. Oh, hold on. We're over here? I didn't expect to be over here. I expected to be over there. Weird. Okay, so both traps must have triggered at exactly the same time. Unfortunately, I think that means that we've lost our totem. Yeah. Well, we'll take a dying state. Oh, no, we haven't lost a totem. Okay. Well, never mind. Never mind. Bit of a moonwalk there. Maybe they flee the tile because of that. They do. Have a dying state, huge. Right, get this hook, but then you really do want to get these totems re-trapped and re-protected. As Esnia, what are you up to? Breakout? They seem quite fast, but it shouldn't be enough. Cool. Have a trap down here. Hoping that the other unhook happens roughly now, because that should be another Devour Hoop stack. Decent enough move. Decent enough injury. And there is another Devour Hope stack. Massive. Keeping on the chase now. Injury on Ace. Do you pivot in that situation? Why not? Why not pivot in such a situation? Oof. That's not the window! They've just discovered that. There's Ezzy on hook. Trap is available. The endurance hit. Hag doing phenomenal stuff here. They've taken a weird line. It'll be another dying state. Will it be decisive? It really could be. But if it isn't... Oh, it is, okay. Maybe should have slugged, maybe should have gone over to Ace. In all sincerity, and that's what Hag's going to do right now. If they can get a recovery here, they might be able to rebuild from a very, very tough opening. Hello? There you go. Well. I mean, so many good things are happening with this hook next to this totem. So why not go right back here? Nazi tried for the totem again. Oh, unbelievably bold. A totem is gone. A totem is gone, but there's plenty more where that came from. Undying is probably the one they've got. There's a bit of haste from Devour Hope. Could that be all that we need here? They're going to try and take a hit on the right-hand side. They don't burn the pallet? They do burn the pallet. Run into a locker. GG. Then all of a sudden, we're 2 stacks away from Hag, from witnessing some Hag Devour Hope Mories. And that'll be your first kill. I've activated this trap. No, Hag didn't put a trap down. Okay. You're probably saying that that is, you know, an allowable lack of a trap there, considering how the game has gone. Able to resupply the trap. Hello, there we go. Able to resupply the trap. Get this one protected as well. And then all of a sudden, 1 survivor down, 4 gens left. On the very verge of Devour Hope Mories. Currently benefiting from Devour Hope exposed. I mean, what a game state. Trap is activated. Gets back there. Grab off the totem. It's gotta feel, I mean, pretty diabolical if you're the survivor team, right? I mean, this is unbelievably tough, but you really just have to pay attention. Oopsie daisy. You really just have to pay attention to those traps. It's that simple. If you're not wiping away the traps, Hag is going to feast all day long. How well is this build working? Can she get away from the unhook? Before the can she get away from the hook before the unhook happens? Get that 5th token? Yes, you can. Mori's in play. Exposed in play. Can you get a hit on Nia? Gonna be a pallet burn here. They go window. Oh, great fake out. Well done. They're back on the trap again. If you can find a way to teleport over there. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Okay. Ace. 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 What a shame. Okay, first Mori. Under the house. That's a new one. Don't look under the decking. Don't look under there. There's nothing there for you. Okay. Retrap the totem. You've got a 2 survivor game. 4 gens left. The only thing you're now even slightly worried about is hatch. And you do have that hatch shack offering for such a situation. Maybe now start putting some traps in non-totem positions. Maybe could have been doing that a while ago. One on this tile. Local wildlife are Visconti'd under the decking again. They're unbelievable. As there goes our trap. Yup, no, you can't use the torch anymore. They were trying to use the torch. They've not read the patch notes. You can't shine a torch on the traps anymore. Right. And it's a race to hatch. And it's a very important race to hatch here. If Fun gets to shack before Hag, Hag loses. Maybe could have thought about that, Hag. Maybe he left a slug out there. Oh my god, she's lost! A moment of oversight. Took the Mori, gave away the hatch. Artist gets a win, despite of an entirely dominant, maybe even more dominant game from the Hag. Artist camp. Celebrating. Hag camp. Despondent. She's lost 12 hook stages to 10. I think it was 10. Let me know if it was not. Artist gets the win, Hag gets the loss. Let's sort Group E. Doctor gets a win, Artist gets the win. They both share top spot of Group E. Clown and Hag suffer their first losses. Aye, 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 aye. Hag was robbed, she misplayed it. It's that simple. These killers are well aware of the rules of the scoring system. You can't be letting someone have a shot at hatch. If you do, you're going to be punished. Group F. And we start with Houndmaster versus Deathslinger.
Let's pick up a scent, shall
I say thanks for tuning me up after the Rangers got my hopes up to let me down again. The Texas Rangers is this. I'm very sorry to hear it. Hey, the Cubs. I'm not trying to... I'm just trying to relate to the baseball chat. I'm not trying to make you feel even worse. But the Cubs secured a playoff berth. Yesterday, delighted to see it clinched. I think we're getting hot at the right time. I really do. The bullpen's absolutely steaming in a good way. Starting pitching has never been an issue. Just need some key bats to get hot again, and I think it's happening. Ian Happ, what a legend. Anyway, sorry. It's the World Cup of Killers. It's the World Cup of Killers. It's not Mastermind, it's Houndmaster. Hello, Yuichi. Both of us need to wake up, it seems. Trying to go around with these walls are very irritating for those little choke spots. There's Yuichi. Oh, almost vaulted back immediately. Ah, but you can't put yourself in the line of fire there. You can't put yourself on the central. That's going to be ruinous. We have so much speed. Okay, Houndmaster gets her first kill eventually. And a DC! One dying state, one hook, one DC. In all matters of DCs, the board will be called upon to make a call as to whether the game is counted or is null and void. So they'll be pondering now. They'll be chatting. I'm hearing from them. Yeah. Okay. The game counts. They're saying that the Houndmaster has done enough positive things, enough gaming moves for the game to be counted. So we play on. Great news for the Houndmaster camp.
Now.
That's ridiculous. Hey, listen, take it up with the board. Right, the unhook over here. Houndmaster again going to search, get there as speedily as possible. And the bot tunnel definitely on the table. Going to go for the injury on Claudette first. And depending on how this shakes out, yeah, you might just commit to this chase. And then maybe save the bot for later. Bounce landing. No bounce landing? Fair enough. Really thought that she did not hear a falling noise, did Houndmaster? Apparently it's not bounce landing, or maybe... Well, I don't quite know what went on there, but regardless. A good dying state. Big gem movement over here. Chase with Jake. Good entry through the pallet. The stun really not that concerning. And this should be an M1. I think they've given up way too much ground to Houndmaster there. Yes, indeed. Wowee, okay. And another DC. Will there be any survivors left at the end of this one? Deathslinger camp are absolutely livid. Looks like Houndmaster isn't even being opposed. A coronation for her in round one. Coronation for the Pirate Queen. It could be the case, okay. Getting back on the gems here. No jagged compass aura. Does that mean there's no gen movement anywhere out there? Surely not, but I can't really think of another explanation right now. A snug. It doesn't go through the window for some reason. Look out for that. This game obviously looks very good indeed, but in future games, tighter games, snug not acting as expected could be a real drawback for the Houndmaster and her hopes of victory in this tournament. Going for a very audacious lunge there, not quite landing it. As Claudette stays on the tile. Goes back to Shaq. Getting the search out there again is Houndmaster. Go for the vault. Good speed. Oh, my lord. Living on a wing and a prayer is Claudette, doing some very good work. Going for the chase now. Search not quite working. Snug. Not able to connect. Does connect. Wow. After all the misses. What? What on earth went on there? That was the quickest escape from a Snug grab I've ever seen. Doesn't hurt Houndmaster in the end, but again, some more weirdness, some more jank. Some more jank that you're just not expecting.
Find me a rat.
Dead heart? Surely not. Okay, big movement. Survivors flee the scene. Can kick out there. No killer instinct at all is surprising. There's 2 bots out there. There should theoretically be big opportunities to take some very easy chases. But not quite finding the bots. That's definitely what you want to be doing. You want to close down those potentially very simple bot chases. And then have yourself a very easy game with 2 survivors. But it's not quite working out that way. Aha, but there you go. Here they are. Yes, look at that. Exactly what you want to be seeing if you're the Houndmaster. Can you corral both the bots into the corner? Not quite. You'll just take on the chase with Bot Yuichi. Snug out there. There's the vault for the bot. The pre-drop. The chemical trap. Good stuff from the bot. Okay, hook. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Houndmaster loses a couple of gems. There's been a lot of giggling, a lot of mirth here, but maybe it's time to lock in just a little bit. Just a little bit, just to close this thing down. Looking for Jake here. Found Jake. Bot goes to the corner. Crouches. Gets a search out there to Houndmaster. It's a very weird line to Snug. Should be okay. All shaking thunder. And there you go, there's the value of that perk. Nice early swing to get the dying state in the hook. Jake just stealthed in that corner. Very stealthy from Jake, very stealthy. Alright. Using Jagged Compass to keep a stranglehold on this game. You know, it does still look very, very positive, but you don't want to give anything away here. As what happens? Hiding in the foliage. Hiding in the foliage is Claudette. That's not quite going to work. Get the search out there. Pre-drop makes a lot of sense. Let me see, not a bad line. Houndmaster thinking that was too audacious and it had to have been deception. No. Claudette maybe just looking to buy enough time for head on to activate. It's not quite going to work. And there you go. The first person leaving the trial is actually a human being, which is a bit of a surprise. Would have expected the bots to perish first. They do not. Very annoying wall here. Try to make all shaking thunder happen. Not quite going to. Okay, there you go. Window's gone. Well played. Injury there. And honestly, this should be pretty simple to wrap up. There you go. Good stuff. Okay. So that'd be another kill. 2 survivor situation. Sincerely, you probably do want to find the human being first. The human you feel has a better shot of making a hatch play happen than the bot. But it all depends on how the game shakes out, who you find. But also you anticipate that, yeah, the bot is death hook. You get the hook on the bot, You've then got to race back to shack. Do you get there in time before the hatch spawns? Honestly and sincerely, I don't know. Leave them be. You've got to be imagining as well that if you're Michonne, you're clearly not putting anything on the line for the bot. You could just be waiting around for a potential hatch play. Send Snug to shack. Just trying to see if there's any kind of killer instinct around the lockers. No? Okay. Don't the bots already know where hatch is? Well, you'd hope not.
Find me a rat.
But it is possible. The plan for Houndmaster might be find Yuichi, try and zone Yuichi around to shack, shepherd them into such a position that no, the other way. Shepherd them into such a position that you can take a hook by shack. Yuichi, go the other way. Go the other way. Shepherd them in such a way that they go all the way over to shack. You can get the hook and then close hatch immediately. And it seems like Yuichi is onto our plans. Yuichi, go that way. Go over to shack. Yuichi. Yes, okay, here we go. Yuichi keeps on running. Keeps on running. Get the injury here. Forward, Yuichi. Forward. Forward. Yes. Marvellous. Right. Yuichi keeps on moving. Don't go right. Don't go right, Yuichi. No. That way. That way. Yeah. No. You burn the pallet, Yuichi. Burn the pallet. Yuichi. Yuichi, throw that pallet, Yuichi. Yuichi, throw the bloody pallet. Right, run them around. Hold on. Run them around this way. Michonne gets a gen. Fair enough. Burn that. Kick. Fine. Yep, brilliant. Thank you, Yuichi. Go. Go. Yes. Okay. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Don't go upstairs, Yuichi. Oh, Yuichi. You aren't off making things bloody difficult for me, Yuichi. Right. Dying state here. It's not a bad dead hard, especially for a bot. Goodness. Right. Over here, get the hook, reasonably close to shack, shut the hatch, and then hope you can shut down the end game. Go. Oh, dearie me. Is it hatch inside shack on this map, or is it hatch outside? I think it's outside. It's outside. Right, so shutting hatch. And trying to keep the gates on side. Snug is an absolute godsend for a situation like this. The moment you get killer instinct, you're in the money. So you wait for Snug to come back. You keep a visual lock on this gate. Send Snug back over here again. Any killer instinct, Houndmaster pursues. Okay. Snug, what are you doing? Snug. Okay. Fine. And you get really good long sight lines on this panel too. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Michonne. Now, there is always the possibility of a key. But I don't remember Michonne having a key. They'd have to go into a chest, open it, luck into finding a key, get to shack, and open it. They might not even know hatch is in shack. So key is a possibility, but an outlandish one. I think if you're Houndmaster, you've got to keep on these gates. And it is no way out. It is no way out, actually. That's a very good shout. Okay, maybe the play now is to go back to shack.
Find me a rat.
Prevent them from having any chance of a key play. And then as soon as No Way Out activates, pivot to the gates. But things are looking good. Things are looking very good indeed. Maybe go over here.
Find me a rat.
And at this point, even if they were to tap the gate, I don't think there's definitely not enough time to do so. Okay, GG! Block the hatch, GG! That will be the full 12 hook stages for the Houndmaster. Clearly a lot of DCing. A lot of giving up there, but you can only play the opposition that's in front of you. And they weren't even thinking about it. GG. Right. Slinger on Wreckers. Not a bad map for him. Needs to get on the board early. A lot of work to do here. And as we were saying, can't run eerie add-ons. Can't run the eerie coin. Won't be able to rely on that exposed. Won't have any exposed here. Which maybe is a bit of a whiff in terms of the build you're running. Slinger does do well with exposed. Doesn't quite get the hit there. Can't get rattled by misses if you're Slinger. Gotta just move on. Let them free themselves here. Let them get the stun. What does it keep on going? Hang on. Expected them maybe to stay on that pallet, but they don't. I'm just gonna take the M1. No issues there. Chance of a torch save, maybe. Gotta be careful. Okay, good stuff. Sabo! That's a shame. They've got a toolbox too. You're not going to get there. Slug. Good shot. Okay. Reel them in. Hoping to still get the kick on this gen. With the reload speed, can you get them again before they get around the corner? Not quite. But you're just looking for an opportunity. Still get the Scourge hook, still get pain res. And you might be able to here. The recovery for Nia, they'll surely get on that gen immediately. Hold on, reload. Oh, just missing. And another Sabo there. No hooks allowed for this Deathslinger. Not the start he was looking for. However, pre-drop here. Moving around. Nah, not going to work, not going to work. Keep them here. Kick the pallet. Check on the gen, no one there. Alright. Head-on makes a lot of sense, okay. They're looking to tilt and they're looking to rattle. Slinger's going to remain stoic. And there is another pain res over here, so... Still a viable pain res situation. Can he get it before the first gen pops? Yes, he can. Okay, he's in business. He is in business, and that is your pain res gen. That's scary. Slinger was of a mind that this was the furthest along gen. It is not. It is not. There's another scary gen out there. Okay, certainly get this kicked. All the aggression. Move in. Look to see if anyone's going for the save. There's 2 injured parties, and they've got to be on this side of the map, right? Because they would have activated Dead Man Switch here, maybe around the back of the hill. There they are. Good shot. If only you could have found them just that little bit sooner if you're Slinger. Still, you take it. Another Sabo. Surely not too many charges left in that toolbox. Great shot. If it was Eerie Coin, exposed immediately. As it stands, it will just be an injury, but still an injury that Slinger is glad to have. All the party are injured now. Anyone go for the unhook? Yes, they are. Just shooting into the muck and the mire, hoping to connect with someone. You don't quite. It is what it is. Pushing everyone away from those important gens is huge. And moving them away from the lorry is great. And there is... What? Wow, there are some groans in the Deathslinger camp after that miss. It looked on the money, but it doesn't connect. Again, can't let it rattle you. Do your business. Get the hooks. Move it on. You do lose a gen. Get a hook. Get the kick. But it's still a fantastic start for Slinger. The spread of injuries, the gen denial, the couple of hooks. Lots to like here. Good shot. Just led them just enough. And now the Saboteur on a hook themselves. They can't do anything about this. It will be pain res. It won't be pain res. Already got a pain res hook on them. You could put more pressure on over here, and that's what Slinger's going to do. Go over to the hook. Oh god, the jitters, the frame skips, please. Go to the hook, have a look. Nothing happening there. Okay. Taking a wide line. They maybe went to Shack for the heal. It is possible. Okay, never mind. Gonna head over to this gen. Every chance that it pops here, but they're going to be forced to commit to it because of Dead Man Switch. There could be a shot on. Never mind, they've left. Scratch marks. Maybe Dead Man Switch just passed its cooldown. Entirely plausible. Good shot. Can you get him around the dumpster? Yes, you can. That's magical. That's magical. Surely they don't traverse all the way across the map to go for the Sabo here. There's no way. Okay, pain res. But whereabouts? It is on this gen. That's huge. Movement there, not too much. Oh, in fact, that's Dead Man Switch. That's Dead Man Switch. There's an injured party here. Wowee. Great shot. Needs to bring them in. Needs to get the hit. Does so. That was a fine, fine margin there. What a game this is from Slinger. He came here to compete and make no mistake. And looking ahead to another potential pain res situation on that really important gen over there. You see someone moving Shack Gen. Maybe Shack Gen is the one that that pops with pain res. Not 100% sure. Now here's the thing. How do you play this if you're Slinger? Because you've got someone on Shack. But if you can find the other person who's maybe moving in for the unhook, that might be an even better situation. Would be a great find, but they're nowhere to be seen. Unfortunately. Just going to go over to Shack. They were there. They did get the unhook. Okay. Go over to Shack, put some pressure on, get a kick. Shack Gen not moving maybe as much as he feared. That's great news. As they'll stay on Shack. Then taking a wide line to avoid the shot. Slinger goes M1. Nice and easy. Moving into Shack. Oh, and they don't burn the pallet. Unbelievable. Dying state, and that will be Death Hook. Assuming he finds a hook, and of course he will. Death Hook. 6 hooks total. 4 gens, 3 gens left. It's still good. It's still good. It's just a gen. It's still good. It's still good. Wowee. And it's on the back of making just some really, really spectacular shots. Repeated spectacular shots. Spreading out the injuries. And that gem fully regressed is a godsend. Although, the only fear that you have... where's your 3 gen? There really isn't one. This is maybe the closest thing to it. Now, if you're the team, you might not want to get back on the gens in too much of a rush. Slinger's built up a lot of momentum here. You don't want to feed into that. Oh, it felt like it had a chance. Great shot. There you go. Needed that. Get them as far from Shack as possible, but no doubt they'll still find their way back there. Taking a kind of wide line. Ooh, not a million miles away there. Got this. They'll move back in. Really thought they might have been going for the vault. Oh, shot is on here. There it is. Well played. Is this the one gamer who still gives pain res? Not 100% sure. You're certainly going to test the waters. Not pain res. Unfortunately. It was Dead Man Switch over here. How's this gen? It's not moving really at all. There was a bit of movement in Shack. Not too worried about that right now. Oh, hang on. You are worried about this. And in a 3 survivor situation, I think you're always going to be going back to the hook. For something such as that. Can you wait out endurance here? Slinger's going to try. And does. And this will be another death hook. A 2 survivor situation. Oh, unless it's DS, and it is. Maybe could have slugged there. Good dodge. Veering off to the right. Now, that leaves someone who did get the unhook, who maybe is getting back on the gen here. Very plausible. Certainly want to get it regressing. But in doing so, Slinger loses the gen over here. You still want to find Nia Coulson. 2 survivors is a necessary game state. The sooner the better. Maybe you don't kick Shaq. Maybe you do just keep on the chase. An argument to be made for that for sure. Okay, so you know the survivor who came off the gem was moving off to the right. That's where Slinger will head. Dead man switch here. Great intel. It's not near. Unfortunately, great to avoid the stun there. Means that you do get the injury. I want to keep them here. Reload. They'll be looking to move away. Head on, of course. Realised it too late. I think you're getting stunned one way or the other, but obviously unfortunate. Nonetheless, a good dying state. Looking for potential gearhead auras here. Seeing nothing of the sort. But a 2-survivor situation. It's exactly what he needed. It means that Yunjin actually has no hooks at all, so I don't know. There's 2 schools of thought here. Do you want to get the survivor out of the game, have a 1-survivor situation, or do you want to find Yunjin and give yourself more time to then find Nia before the hatch is in play? Either works. Nia Carlson has found a way to heal somewhere out there. You got to be patient if you're Deathslinger in a game like this. You know there's going to be no rush for these survivors to get back on the gens. They're going to weigh out their options. Nia Carlson is 1 hook away from death, and Yunjin has been very, very aggro-averse all game long. The gates are pretty good, yeah, should it come to that. And it very well may. Big, big gem movement here, okay. So, kick here. If you see no one around, do you know what? Search immediately, because you never know. Okay. So there's got to be someone around here. If I'm them, I'm maybe wanting to go to the place where there is a pallet, so maybe around here. Can't see that. Skirt the perimeter here. Aha! There we go. What? There we go. And it's Yunjin. We found them, finally. Which, sincerely, not a bad find. It gives you a lot of time to find Nia Carlson thereafter. Oh. Stick on the rock. And, yeah. Calm spirit as well. This is a survivor who didn't want to be found. You could go for pain res. You maybe fear the gens a little bit, and there's a chance this gives you Dead Man Switch. Ooh, hang on. That's fine. That's fine. The gem popping is a shame, but you get intel on where Nia Carlson is, and that is huge. And you get further intel from Grim Embrace. Grim Embrace in the clutch with that Obsession Aura reading effect. A thing that I didn't even know existed until today. Has now been incredibly useful twice in a row. And they're behind this rock. And that might be all she wrote. Injury. Got a shot. Can he make it happen with a flourish? Expected the dive to the right. Didn't happen. Now you've got to be a little bit cautious, because Yunjin is giving up on hook. The hatch, all of a sudden, a very real possibility they're going to go for the unhook. Great shot. And what a way to end it. That is phenomenally good stuff from Deathslinger. Exactly the game he needed. He salvages a point. It is 12 hook stages to match the Houndmaster. What a game, what a matchup. Great shot to end it with, no doubt. So that is the first matchup of Group F done, and it is a full hook tie. 12 hooks apiece. Honours even between Houndmaster and Slinger. As we go now to Cenobite versus Billy. Cenobite in Hawkins. Here we go. So So, Cenobite versus Billy in this matchup. Cenobite probably the underdog based on recent performances. And that start will not be moving the over-under in any appreciable way. Deception? Yes it is, fair enough. Worth having a look. It was a well-timed deception, no doubt about it. Where'd you go with that if you're Fung? You might go in here and hide. Okay, fair enough. They've played a good game. Made a good move. It's another Hawkins with that specific totem being a boon. Now, Artist was able to counter it. Artist is a different killer to Cenobite. For more of this scorching commentary, please follow and subscribe. Moving over here. A noise, but it could be a deception pebble, maybe. Moving to Jen. Oh! Denied the grab. Disastrous. Disastrous denial of the animation there. Ooh! Hi. The charm. Okay, yeah, nice. Cool. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's a rattling start for Cenobite, no doubt about it. Gotta get his head back in the game. Gotta make some moves, gotta make some plays. Here we go, Visceral Canker over there, don't worry about that. Right, Chase is on with Ace Visconti. And that swing and a miss is not what he was looking for. Is it over before it began for Cenobite? Gets the chains. Sorry about those two. Gets the chains, gets the first hook, makes it a Scourge hook. Tournament shithousery from Ace. Nah, they're just loving the charms, and that's well within their rights. Back to action for Cenobite, though. And it's actually not a bad start. Pain Res being on that gen is very important intel. You know that no other gens are moving in such a way. I'll tell you what, though. There's a memester. There's a memester in this lobby. And their name is Fung Min. There being a boon in play could be a bit of a pentamento counter. If you're going to boon over a hex, rather than cleanse it, you know, you can't pentamento a boon. I've said it a million times, you can't pentamento a boon. That's one of the things that I say all the time. As they burn that pallet. Moving around, moving around, moving around. Heading upstairs, they don't get this vault. It will be an injury. Looking to drop down into the hole. There's Cenobite moving around this way, and not the best pathing. Chains. Doesn't quite connect. Moving around. And was hoping, almost against hope, that Fung would not burn that pallet. Oh, good movements from Cenobite while blinded. To still get the dying state. Still get the hook. Can you find a way to make Pain Res happen? That gen pops. Can you find a way to get Pain Res before that gen does? No, it's a moot point. Do you know what? Is this a bit too big brain? Cenobite doesn't want to use Pain Res while the next furthest long gen is blocked. Is he going to pay the price for that? He's not. That, legitimately and sincerely, might be one of the biggest brain moves from any of our competitors in this tournament so far. You know Deadlock is on the next furthest along gen. Pain Res then might activate on the less important gen. Hold off, save it for later. Those kind of moves could bring this game state back. Moonwalking all the way around. Do they flee the room? They do not. They vault back. Do they come back again? They do not. Good play there from Dalita. Cenobite has to abscond. Gonna try and get back on them as soon as possible. As there goes the totem. And that gateway not going to do anything at all. What you can do is get Pain Res out there. And then get back on them. Alright, how's this game state looking? It's interesting, it's interesting, it's close. And an opportunity here, as they'll drop the pallet. They don't drop the pallet. Wow, that was unbelievably bold. If Cenobite simply goes after them, all of a sudden you've got another dying state. Maybe they're emboldened by something like DS. Ripley in the mix as well. Also heads upstairs. Also looking for a vault. Oh, hang on, hang on. They drop down there, but this should not be too much of a concern for Cenobite. There's your dying state. And another hook around the corner. Now would be a great time for that Pain Res. That he did not take moments sooner. Boom back. Boom back, but not over the Pentimento totem. Gonna teleport just to get back in action quickly. The teleportation here with injured parties, not a bad idea, especially if they're in that little nook, affording them no possibility of fleeing the scene. Good stuff from Cenobite. He's clicking it into high gear. Right, again, it's deadlock, so again, maybe not the time for pain res. Gonna get a normal hook, head elsewhere. And there's deadlock. Good intel. Deadlock showing us where that gen is. Cenobite heading back that way. Also going to put some pressure on the hook. Deny the heal. They're still there. It's Ace Visconti taking the dying state. Ripley's there. Glances. Stares. Considers. Runs. Endurance. It passes. And looks to the heavens and a fall to the floor. Ace Visconti going on hook. And now a bit of an embarrassment of riches. You're really just concerned about getting the hooks as quickly as possible, trying to find Fung Min. They do get the unhook over there. They do get the unhooks. The game is clearly not over, but what a situation that was for Cenobite. Moving in. Moving just down this corridor. Hoping to catch someone looking to move in for the unhook, and you find both people. That is so divine. Cenobite on Fung. Turns the corner with the gateway. Brilliant. One of the greatest gateways I've ever seen. This is Inner Locker. No, it's Deception again. They're going to go for the unhook. No, they're not. Good play from Fung. Sincerely, another great play from the memester. However, someone has to go in for the save here. And with all injured parties, surely you're going to keep on them. Yep, good call to double back. Ripley on the box over there. The only person now who can move in for the save is the leader. Are they going to? Are they able to? Good gateway. And that should be all she wrote for this one. Dead hard? Nope. And that is a kill on hook. And all of a sudden, things are looking very good for Cenobite. Just a workman-like finish to the game needed. And he'll be in possession of a 12-hook stage game. Another totem cleansed. Upstairs. Well worth it for Cenobite to head up here. Oh, in fact, they're all the way up there. They're both up there! Oh, wow. Do they get the heal before Cenobite gets over there? No, they do not. Can you get the gateway up there? Oops. Not quite what he was looking for. At the very least, it does usher in a two-survivor situation. Do they get this heal before he gets there? Good dying state. They don't get the heal. GG. Well played. And if he takes the hook here, he can save the Mori for that otherwise impenetrable spot regarding hooks. Up there. Good stuff from Cenobite. Very, very clean. Unless... could be a twist in the tail. Will hatch spawn beneath Ripley. There won't be time. If it was Death Hook, that could have been a concern. What a start from Cenobite. Unbelievable work. Oops. GG. Lovely Cenobite gaming. I know, it's not a killer who sees a lot of play on this channel. He's done well there. GG. And the Cold Wind it is, great. Torment Creek as well. And there's Lethal Pursuer. If Billy can get on the books early with a dying state, it will be magical. Oh, how does that not connect? Okay, no matter. Do they burn pallet? They do. Just get the pallet burn nice and easy. Keep on them. Don't let up here. Don't let up. Oh, just millimeters away from where he needs to be. And just caught in 2 minds about where he wanted to go. To the left of the hay, to the right of the hay. Real shame. As Billy, getting that early dying state can be so important. He doesn't, so he needs to pivot. Finding Yuichi here. Not a bad play in all sincerity. So they go window. They do! And there's a dying state. Good stuff from Billy, being tricksy with it. Exactly what he needs after not getting the easy lethal pursuer dying state. We've got to pull out all the stops, and he's made it happen. No Tinkerer yet. Might not be the case forever. Barbecue. There is a bit of gen movement to the left. There's someone over there as well. Okay. Head over to the distant gen. They're going to move off to the right. Try and follow them. They just find themselves a tile. The vault there. And even in this early stage, you're like, oh god, was Barbecue to play? Would you not rather have Gem Regression? Would you not rather have Bamboozle? Lots of things you could be thinking about. But this could be an opportunity as they vault. Good stuff from Billy. Not letting the build or the strategy get to him. Just doing the effective work that we know he can do. Tinkerer! All the way over yonder. Can he get there in time? Big play this. Big play. One person on that gen. Behind a wall, unfortunately. Never mind. Hang on just a second. So many close calls. Okay, enduring. Get the kick. Get the pallet with the chainsaw. Two people moving around the right. There's a DC on hook. Wow. They don't want to stick around. They're not liking how this is going. And why could that be? Not 100% sure. Is this Michaela? Big opportunity here. Big opportunity here. Good dying state. Could that be basement? Bit of gem regression here would not hurt. Wow. No question in the minds of the board. It is a valid game. It will continue. The DC after a couple of hooks already obtained. They're going to get back on the gen immediately. Billy not worried about it. Going to get the hook. Head up and around. There is healing going on under the hook. Could this be a big opportunity for Billy? He's going to try and make it happen. And Sable just doing enough to get around. But where do you go now if you're Sable? Really tough spot. Billy goes over the top of her. And they've got balanced landing. Wow. That was unbelievably unfortunate. He's down the corner here. Not quite able to do so. Keeping on them, keeping on them. Is this a time where you go M1? There is a window here. They go for it. Oh, he's not able to get the hit. What did they do? Spun around, put themselves between the canisters maybe? As they fake out the window with overdrive. That'll be all she wrote. Crouch tech's not going to do too much there. Good stuff. Billy, I know you didn't want to be seeing that. Yes, but he does get a hook. Another Tinkerer. But it should just be enough time to head back there, in all sincerity. Right in the silo. Can he do it? Let's see. A weird angle to approach from, but he will be able to put the pressure on. Just one person there. It's Yuichi. Taking the chase. No pallet here. Really reaping the benefits of the map management he's done up to this point. Get right on them, then start revving. Could this be it? Oh, tried to cut it too tightly. Is he being a bit too precious about the M2s? Does he need to start going M1? There's certainly a chance. Yeah, okay. Kick in the gen now. It's a game you could still lose. It's a great start for Billy, but as long as there's 4 survivors in a trial, they can make plays and they can bring it back. So, needs to start locking in again. Says a vault. That'll be them dropping down. Nope, they're on the hay. Okay. Vault back. Vault through. And you might be in a spot of bother now. Right on the back. They've done well to deny so far. Will they deny again? They will not. They will not. Good stuff from Billy. Says Tinkerer. Exactly as the hook is acquired. Tinkerer in play. Survivor fleeing. Barbecue and Chili gives us the aura reading. And that's Dramaturgy. There's Michaela as well. Maybe you prioritise the chase with the human being here over the bots. Bots can be weirdly good against Billy. We've seen it time and time again. As they go for the window and they won't make it. A true 50-50 call, especially without overdrive. It's a 50-50 that Billy wins out. Can you not flick and turn that sharp with controller as opposed to keyboard and mouse? I honestly don't know. I think it would be tough. But I've not played with controller, so I don't know. There's Yuichi. Big opportunity here. Could be off the record, in all sincerity. Even though they're healthy, that would protect them. Okay, no matter. Maybe DS if you're playing that so brazenly, with such nonchalance. There you go. Up on the vehicle. Do the same damn thing. Push them around. Vault after them. I think no need to do anything too ambitious here. Well, that does get them back up here, I suppose. Right, gotta leave. There was someone moving in for the save. They'll be right there. The trade is sublime. So even though you made a bit of a fool of in the vehicle by Yuichi, you still turn around, make a play on the unhook. Very good about that. Alright. But we've seen this kind of game state for so many of these killers, time and time again. Good work being done. We've not gotten rid of anyone. 4 survivors still remain. It could all still fall apart if someone doesn't leave soonish. That's what Billy's going to try and make happen. Yuichi clearly very confident on the vehicle. No real will to go back to Yuichi anytime soon for Billy. Gonna do some patrolling around the outside. Whoa, the frames. And there we go. Gem movement here. There goes the bot. The bot, it would be great to get rid of the bot, and hopefully relatively simple to get rid of the bot. Did I say that? I said no such thing. They double back. Oh, you know that gen's going to pop, leaving 2 remaining. This is really tough for Billy. Got to go M1. You hate that you have to go M1. So that's the kind of chase you needed. Okay, hook into aura reading. But things are looking grim, in all sincerity. 4K required, 12 hook stages required. And he's got a lot of work to do now. And they keep on finding these vehicles, which he has had massive trouble countering. Trying to do things just the old-fashioned way, lunge onto the hay, but they see right through it. They know that he can't counter it any other way. They're making huge plays. They get bounce landing. They flee the scene. Got to go to the Tinkerer gen. Injured party here. Big opportunity. Oh, but where have they gone? Around here. You've got to close this down with Yuichi. I don't care what you do if you're Billy. You need this dying state. You need it soon, and what a gimme! What a gift from Yuichi! Doesn't burn the pallet for whatever reason. It's exactly what Billy needed. It's handed to him on a silver platter. Hook for Yuichi. A kill. Unbelievable stuff. What did they think? Did they think there'd be pallet respect? This is the World Cup. There's no respect here. There's no crying in baseball, and there's no pallet respect in the DBD World Cup. Trying to take a nice line with a chainsaw through to the gen. Not quite able to, but a 2 survivor situation is leaps and bounds better than a 3. Especially to get rid of Yuichi, who's been so confident all game long. Okay, Sable. In shack. Goes window. M1. Again, a gift. Should have Red Stain come back. Really wanted the vault there. Hold, vault. They're playing it well, Sable. They're playing it well. You need to find a way to get shack pallet gone. And you might be able to do so here. However, why not keep the game in front of you? Why not push Michaela away from the gen? Why not put yourself in a position to maybe get a dying state with the chainsaw in a slightly worse tile? Double back immediately. Nope, M1. This just feels a lot better, doesn't it? That doesn't feel better. That feels awful. Go chainsaw. It's a zoning chainsaw. Get in front of them. Or just behind them. No pallets here, hopefully. M1. Okay. Hook here. Now the concern is, if it's Death Hook, which it is, you've got to go back to Shack. You've got to go back to Shack immediately. Sable hooked in the locker to the right. Honestly not concerned. The only concern is shutting that hatch. There they are. Go after them. But make sure there's no exit. Hi. Yeah, I'm sorry. But GG. Gotta move it on. I'm so sorry to you. You played a great game. The 4K. The score draw 1 point apiece, and in Group F, every killer starts off their campaign who is playing with a 4K. Brilliant stuff. Billy gets a 4K. So it is draws all around here. The lead of Group F shared between Houndmaster, Slinger, Cenobite, and Billy, with Oni still to play. Oni will make his first appearance in round 2. We go now to Group G, where we'll start with Wraith versus Blight. 2 speedy men here. We'll see who comes out on top. It's Wraith. It's Wreckers. You got that Windstorm add-on. Gonna, as quickly as possible, head across the map, and that'll be an immediate chase. And not quite an injury. It's a damn shame. Cloak up. Give it a kick. That's a shame. Would have loved an injury. If Wraith had any time at all, he maybe would have established where the pallet was, body blocked it, took the injury. But no matter. We'll do that here. And that denies Michaela the opportunity to get around to the pallet, in spite of Sprint Burst, which almost did for him there. As they stop and stare. I think they're moving, but they're going nowhere. Hold, 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 hold. Great send. Great send. Just punishing the possibility of pallet. Don't know where I was going with that, and then I got sidetracked by an imminent Sable. But no matter. The hook. Over to Dave. Gonna try and get ahead of Dave. Prevent the pallet. Absolutely fine. Maybe don't want to give away the cloak stun, because it is a lengthy thing to recover from, but no matter. And now they've got back. Huge. They go this way. Huge. Either way, it's huge. Good injury. And there, Predator giving us some huge intel there. Wow, Predator. I slept on Predator being changed. I thought that Dave had something of the memester about him, and so did Wraith, thinking there might be a chance, you know, there might be a chance that he doesn't drop this pallet. Indeed he doesn't. I think Talita goes for a pallet save, isn't able to make that happen either. They're going to try and stop this gem regressing. They might have to be forced to burn Shack pallet here. They don't, so they'll take an injury. Faking out window, but took way too wide a blind. Getting caught in the tyres. Try an FOV tech, it doesn't work. Wowee. What a start this is for the Wraith. Able to get basement here. No doubt about it. There they go. Unbelievable. And once again, the one play that's really working for killers is survivors not throwing pallets. Seeing that time and time again. As David Volt's here. Dead hard. Okay, never mind. Seems like DS, doesn't it? You're staring into Shack through the window. There you go. Seeing a lot of DS this tournament. See it once again there. Can Wraith get ahead of David while blinded? Nope, he is running into a wall. Wraith, of course. No stranger. No stranger to this map. Home field advantage for the Wraith. He's handling it well so far. And this is going to be a pallet burn. Moving around immediately. Might be looking just to bloodlust this. Sable takes a hit. No. Okay, well, it's a thought that counts. Dead hard. There it is. There it is. You had the sense of it, didn't you? You had the sense that he had it, he just didn't use it. And indeed, right you are as he tries to take the dead hard post-decisive strike. Good resolve from Wraith. Not to hit into it. You might just clean up this pallet. Why not? There's pain rares, and look, it is still 5 gems. Clearly, there's a lot of gem movement out there. However, you've got to be happy about a game state such as this. Going after Sable now. Aura reading. So important. Oh, they've taken the one good line there, just fleeing the tile immediately. However, do they get to this window? It'll be really close. It actually wasn't all that close. Have a good hook here. Oops. As the first gem pops. There's the unhook. Still 5 hooks deep. And there is a chance of maybe getting David out of this game reasonably fast. Free hit on Michaela. You take those. Where's David? All the way over there. Weighing up his options is Wraith. And deciding that it might just be better to try and take the easier chase, get another hook as quickly as possible. Shack pallet. Get rid of that, no doubt about it. They stop and stare again. They're losing valuable distance in making that move. I don't know why they're making that move. There is a pallet here, unfortunately. Another kick. They're stopping and staring again. Is this setting up a styptic? I'm trying to think about what this possibly could be in aid of. How intriguing. Sable might want the pallet safe here. They're way too far away. It'll be a hook. David was working on this gem. Probably has moved away at this point. Okay, so Sable. Fix that window. Surely goes for it there. Nice. Injury. Cloak it up. And this will lose chase. This will give us aura reading. No? Okay. Well, fair enough. And that's a not great line. Dead hard? Wow. Not a great line, but it does enough. Okay, so Michaela on hook. Sable heading in that direction. David injured and death hook here. It's a pretty damn strong situation for Wraith. Pretty damn strong here. And an injured party. Not going in the locker. Not going in the locker. Moving away from the... What? Around the tile. There they are. Okay, it's Dave. Goes window. Wise play from Dave. Good stuff. Just do this. Aura reading. They don't burn. Again. Is that going to come back to bite them? Dead hard? No, they do burn the pallet. Fair enough. It's probably still worth going after Dave. Remember that you are looking at a potential dead hard here that they have not yet used, which they will use rather than bolting, or they'll do that. Okay. So that'll be your first kill. And this may well be where the dominoes start to topple. If indeed they haven't started toppling already. There goes a gem. Can't rest on your laurels here. There is still a game to be played. Get a kick. There's Sable. Injury. Hence the school bus. Okay. Pallet here. Oh, they almost made the mistake that their friends and colleagues have made time and time again in not throwing that. They do just in time. No pallet here, which is brilliant for us. And there you go. Was that dead hard? Was that... It might have been the most unbelievable reaction play if it was dead hard. That's a great fake out from Sable. Fair play to them. We've had their number on a few occasions, but that was a great fake. That fake is not too bad, though, because we're heading in the right direction regardless. Whoa. Whoa. Where have they gone with that? They're over here. Sable juicing. They found something here, for sure. They found a line. And they're running it well. And they head all the way over to the bus now. Right, you've got to be cloaking here if you're Wraith. Foolish to do anything else. Big Gen moving off to the left, but you've got to go after injured party, right? Fake, you go for the other vault, but we'll meet you here. Thank God for that. Right, sincerely, that was close to being a game-winning loop there, and it certainly has put the team in a better spot. A much better spot. 1 gen left. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There has been movement here, but that is still regressing. And this one... moving, okay. Well, you're just grateful to find someone at this point. Injury here. Now don't do anything silly like you did against Sable. Cloak up, put pressure on. Delete there, not too fast. Gotta be a vault, right? It will be. Wait out dead hard. Okay. See that a lot when people leave gens? I think people attribute that to Unreal Engine 5, the weird, janky, latency movements. That's what I've been seeing anyway. Shack, in hatch. Adjacent to hatch, it'll be around here. And then as long as you can shut hatch. No way out should make this pretty comfortable for Wraith. Again, unless there is a key in play. No reason to move away from the hatch until such a time as you do get a no way out activation. Shack in hatch. I found Shack. Okay. Waiting patiently for no way out to activate. Needs to do whatever you're doing to make blood easier to see. This is a perk. This is Bloodhound. Which, in all sincerity, been kind of useful. More useful than I imagined. They need to tap a gate soon. If they don't tap a gate soon, they simply won't have time to even get out. Fully charged no way out is 40 seconds, right? Gate itself is 20 seconds. I think it might be all over. And it certainly is now. Right, GG. 60. Oh, well, there you go. Even worse. Make sure you are blocking the hatch. And then this game wins itself. Yep. I don't know that Wraith is even too bothered about going over there. Bit lazy, but he can afford to be lazy. That's a GG. You're only seen when you're uncloaked, seen when you're uncloaked. The old Wraith. You're only seen when you're uncloaked. Quite right. There you go, GG. There's your 4K. And what a 4K it was. Very well done. Larry's for Blight. Okay. Doable. Very doable. Blight has not been a powerhouse in this tournament. Could this be the year that things turn around for Talbot? Gets the injury. Ran past another survivor to get that injury. Maybe Blight will feel a little bit hard done by. Another injury here. Why not? Rack him up. Rack him up, especially with Blood Favor in play. No chance for a pallet here. Take your dying state and take your early hook. What a start. Okay. Not too shabby. Someone going for a blind. Another injury on Sable. Well, well, well. Blight has been very effective in a very short span of time here. Can he now close this down? Thinking about a rush, thinking about when to rush. Want to make sure you know where the survivor is before going for it. Up ahead? Okay, now's the time. They keep on moving. Blight may be expecting them to stay on the window a little bit, looking for a hit. Not quite going to get it. Don't burn the pallet. Survivor's not burning pallets. Friends to these killers. Ridiculous work once again. Second hook secured. There goes a totem. Maybe looking to get Pentimento out there as soon as possible. The more pressure you can apply to these gens, the happier you are if you Blight. back on them immediately. Oh, there's something so pleasing about Pentimento. Where so many other actions are slow, you know, to balance things, slow, laborious. Pentimento, just there. Bosh. Get it rekindled. It's magic stuff. And another hook. David making a strange play with the locker. Maybe already a little bit concerned about how this game is going and doesn't see a future for him in it. We'll see, we'll see. The unhook over here. Oh my god! Somehow finds a way to connect with the rush hit. It's another DS. It's another DS. Seeing a lot of that this tournament. Okay, nonetheless. A fantastic hit. Oh, big latency. Big latency across the board here. The internet's looking stable. The game's looking okay. But something to be wary of, perhaps. Oh dear, never mind. The game is not looking okay, my friends. The game is not looking okay. Even the rush is delayed. Okay, the board are gonna take a view on this. Yeah, no, do you know what? Do you know what? Something isn't right. The entire server is hurting. Blight rushes are on a delay here. Gets an injury somehow. He's gonna play through, but don't be surprised. Dipstick there. Don't be surprised if this game is called off due to that. However, things are looking a bit better now. Waiting at the Stiptych there. Let's see whether things have stabilised enough to play out the game. Because there was hyping across the board there. Don't know if someone at behaviour tripped over a cable or something. But it looks like we are playing on. Right, Boone. Boone being put over the Pentimento totem before they get the unhook makes a lot of sense. And Sable just off the hook. Serves up on a bit of a silver platter here after a game like this and with that weird latency. Blight is taking no prisoners. DS is gone. Looking for a blind that won't make it happen. Needs to find a hook. Has to go basement here, it seems like. But that looks like it will be an early kill. Really unfortunate for Sable. There you have it. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. Blight won't care. The announcer might. I'm sure Sable will be very happy, though, when I tell them that there was an Excel spreadsheet. Now, actually, I'm doing a tournament. Oh, okay, then. I understand. I understand. Right, big movement here. Injured party running back towards us. Blight gets the window. Heading upstairs. Been a bit of a perfunctory performance, this, from Blight. Not doing too much in the way of rushing. Falling down into the hole, but thankfully so did Blight. Steady dying state. I'm playing comp with myself, yes. Up we go. As honestly, take the injury there. Dave making some interesting decisions here. Not entirely working out for him. And all of a sudden, the game rests on Lara's shoulders. There is no shack in Larry's, so denying Hatch, a little bit of a trickier prospect than otherwise. Is he finally going to use his rush? He is. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, not quite able to turn in the death there and get the injury. Premature pallet burn. They're running that pallet well, so kick and move on for Blight here. There's a bit of a lull. Really and sincerely, the only question mark here is the boom was right there, so maybe Dwight was in the vicinity. It had to have been. Maybe the only question mark now. This one's going to go for a rush. Okay, strange. The only question mark now is not, are you going to get to a hatch situation, but can you deny a hatch situation? Which in this tournament, of course, is all important. There you go. Getting the hook. Moving it on. So you know where Dwight was. You know that the boon placed by Dwight in this room. The boon room. But where did Dwight go afterwards? Perhaps in here? Yup. Just spying him on the left. Second gen. Looking good for the Blight fans. Looking good for the Blight camp. Look at the window. Unless it's lithe. It is lithe. Do they vote immediately? They do. Good bit for Blight! And they're not able to get the pallet. Or they are, but like seconds after, Blight has already got the hit. GG. Tough game. Very weird latency. Which I think it's fair to say maybe affected Blight more than anyone else. But he's able to persevere and able to get the 4K. Good stuff. We've avoided kind of nastiness in the post-game chat all stream long. I fear this may be the game in which that is most put under pressure. No GG's? Hey, listen. I respect that a great deal. GG's. Blight gets another 4K. So they share a point, each of them getting the 12 hook performance. It will be Onryo versus the Ghost Face. Increased range of which the Onryo is visible while demanifested, and screaming from survivors. Why? That really got me. It's been a while since the Sedako jump scare got me. That one, my blood ran cold. Oh, piss off! Right, let's send it. So, Crotus Prenant ears. There's some noises going on out there. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, don't let that put you off, because this is World Cup DBD. There's no time to be distracted. And there we go. Opening chase with Steve. No pallet here. They go vault. Do they double back immediately? They do not. This specific tile bringing so many of our killers so many problems. And it is the case there for Sedako too. Looking for at least an injury here, but won't get it. There's a pallet stun. Okay, gotta leave. Gotta leave. Gotta get teleporting. Maybe getting over here. Putting some pressure on this gen. No movement. Okay. Teleport over here instead. Just move from gen to gen. Try and put some pressure on. No movement here. Some movement here. Not a huge amount. Maybe worth a kick? No, there's no reason to do that. Gotta work it out, Sedako, and gotta work it out soon. Been some very good killer games so far. Oh, sorry. Thanks. Thanks. Get the kick. Charm respect. Okay. Take the injury. Move it on. It still feels really bad to take a dying state after someone's just being nice about the charms. So, leaving that there. Need to find someone else. At the very least, listen. Arella, while respecting the charms, isn't moving the gen. Now they're moving the gen. We take the trace. It's that simple. Hello. There you go. That's a gimme. You're moving the game along. We take a hook. Sedako does lose a gen. Thinking momentarily about maybe going for a pain res hook, but no opportunity to do so. Oof, and there goes another gen. Oh, it's been a slow start, a ponderous start. Maybe thinking about a way to get more condemnation out there. A relatively early condemnation Mori could be just a ticket in a game like this. There's a slow vault to double back. They do not. So there's your dying state. Good stuff. And now could be a good time for pain res. Albeit a couple of gens have already popped, but no doubt there's progress on another as we speak. So there goes Steve. I think Sedako's going to keep to her game plan. Spread out as much condemnation as possible. Again, when Sedako wins games, very often she wins games because of the secondary objective, because of condemnation. Hoping for the same here. Injury there. So goes Call of Brine. Going to teleport again up ahead, maybe upstairs. Does anyone at all become condemned here? Doesn't look like it. Keep on moving, keep on moving. Teleport here. She really wants to keep them on the back foot. Always thinking about... Oh, you gotta run, you gotta run, you gotta run, you gotta run. Play the game, run, run, run. No, I'm sorry, I've got to take a hook. Sedako has to take a hook in this situation. Gets the gen kicked. I think this map is too big for condemnation. No. Now Sedako knows what she can do, and she's going to keep on doing it. Moving to and fro. Getting the teleports. Injury here. And a trade here would do wonders for Sedako. And that is in fact what's going to happen. But you probably at this stage, if you're Sedako, try and make Painrose happen. Oh, you just simply can't. Well, she might be able to if she goes over here. How does condemnation work? You need to read a manual to basically understand it. It's too much for a mid-game explanation, I'm afraid. Just let it be said, the more you teleport, the higher the chance you have of a Mori. And that's what she's doing here. The projection speed, very, very good. So, injury. For Elodie. Look, it's follow up here, but the teleport might be even better. Ooh, hang on, hang on. How does that work? Ooh, they've just held up. Hold on. It'll be really close. Nice. Massive for Sedako, that. Absolutely huge for Sedako. And the possibility here of another Scourge. Unfortunately, not quite able to stop that gen. Back to the teleportation. Someone was here! Trying to rid themselves of a TV. Steve might be in a bit of a pressure spot now regarding condemnation. They certainly were. They went for it in spite of Sedako being right there. Maybe an opportunity missed. Keeping on the chase regardless. Shouldn't be able to get to Shaq here, should Steve? It's a great fake out. Sedako had to go. And Steve knew that. That was a ridiculous... You're having a joke. Oh my god. It's a gift for Sedako. She didn't deserve it. But she made it happen. Unbelievable work from Steve. So, 6 hooks. Halfway on the hooks. More than halfway on the gens. This is tough. One of the tougher game states that we've seen for our killers. Sedako can grow in power as the game moves along, as the condemnation grows. And someone going for the tape, they're not going to make it happen. They're going to try and go for it. Oh my god, it must be another really close call on the condemnation. They've handled it well. But Sedako does get a hook. Maybe try and make this one a Painrose hook. Steve going to try and body block. Not going to work. And that's a kill. Oh, wow. Well, okay. You probably don't want... Oh, as they just turn off that TV. As she was pondering the teleport. You probably don't want to go after Steve in this situation. What you probably want to be doing is going where the TV was turned off. Thinking about getting back on the gen. No one there. moving around as quickly as possible. Scratch marks. Heading where? Heading this way. It's Steve. It's Steve. All roads apparently lead to Steve. They don't burn that pallet, which should mean an injury, right? No, they've got enough distance to do that. Good lines taken from Steve. Denying the pallet, though, is Sedako. Good stuff, getting the injury. Is that enough? Dead hard? You just sensed it. Sedako saw Steve hold up, and with how efficient his pathing has been, was thinking, why would he be doing something like that? And indeed, the question answered. Oh god, is she going to be able to get to this hook? It was dead hard. It'll be really aggravating if she can't make this. She does. She does. Trying to get all the way to this gem. And does so. No movement, however. Heading back here. Looking to keep the pressure on. Gem movement here. Arella here. Oh, they've got to be playing the game. They've got to start playing the game. And they do. Going to the pallet. Probably looking to trade here. They will. GG's, I'm so sorry. Any Sabo here at all? See two people running in. But they apparently flee the scene shortly thereafter. Okay. No gem movement here. Two survivors left, including Steve, who might be somewhere in this building. Does Sedako get lucky? Nope, no sign. Things are looking pretty good after a slow start. There'll be some amount of consternation with the hooks that were more or less freely given up in the early game. That's a slow vault. This Steve knows his business. Sedako needs to look for ways to find Elodie instead. But as it stands, Steve is the only chase available. Back around. Goes to the window. Does he do the same thing? Vault back, and then... medium vault goes unpunished. All the while, LD could be moving again, so pivot back. And indeed they are. Steve is fully condemned. That's tempting, but you just need injuries here. It's not getting the kill that's the issue, it's getting the hook. And Sedako has a better chance of that in this chase, you think. Medium vault. Taking a wide line. Dead hard could be on the table. Okay. Hook here, and then back to Shack as quickly as humanly possible. That's got to be the plan. Okay. Having said that, it isn't Death Hook, and Sedako may be assuming that it would be. And there goes Steve. He will unfortunately get the trade here. Bit annoying. Well, it might not even be a trade, in fact. No, it will be. Stiptic. Good stuff. Gave them the pallet. Did well not to hit immediately, but needed to do a better job on body blocking the pallet. Let them have their Stiptic play, even though she anticipated it. They keep on doing really good stuff on this vault, so no surprise that Steve wants to go right back there. However, good counter from Sedako. Does he still get back to it? Thank God for that. Okay. The game plan. Sedako has to hook and then go back to Shack as quickly as possible. The TV there, very useful for doing so. They get the gen! Hold on just a second! Which gen is it? This one. Oof. You need to know where Elodie's gone. If you don't know where Elodie's gone, which unfortunately you don't, you've got to go hatch first. They might be there. They might be there for it. Okay, hatch first. No way out. Head back over here. Okay. Things are looking up. There's Elodie. Well played after a brief scare. And now you're just running this in the most perfunctory way that you can imagine. Okay. As you can maybe tell from the angle there, it's like I really did assume that you got that hit. No matter, there shouldn't be any chance for a twist in the tail here. That is a medkit, it isn't a key. Even if it was a key, no way you're escaping Sadako's clutches here. GG. Holy hell, didn't know Hatch was there. Yeah, so Hatch can spawn either inside or on the periphery of Shack, and it all depends on what map you have. In fact, it's more likely to be outside. I think there's only a couple where it does spawn inside. Garden of Joy is one. Right. Rounding it off for Thursday. Ghostface on Wreckers. Here we go. Early stealth. Try to take someone by surprise here. Maybe get some early mark out there. Not a bad map, in all sincerity. Certainly better maps. Any indoor map would be better. But there's opportunities to make plays here. Apologies for the low-flying aircraft. Rather loud. Rather obnoxious. Give them a little bit of this action. They're wary of that. They understand what's going on. Get a kick. Ooh! Shack pallet burnt. For absolutely no reason. You love that if you're ghosty. Oh, you do lose a gen. That is a shame. That is a shame. Would have loved to have kept that on side. Oh, hi. Still got the reveal. And the pallet burn. A bit unfortunate, in all sincerity. I guess you've got some mark progress. So maybe you can head to other territories, maybe take a chase like this. There's someone up behind these tyres, right? Well, there was someone else in the vicinity. It's Michaela. Another pallet burnt on Ghosty. Jen already? Yeah, welcome to Dead by Daylight, I suppose. Okay. Stealth up around the corner so that they don't suspect anything. Got a nice bit of mark there, halfway. And where have you gotten around here? Yes, indeed. Get that 99s, then leave them for now, but turn the corner here. Maybe get the benefit of this mark. You ideally don't want to do that into a pallet stun, of course. However, they take an odd line. Got another pallet here, but... Oh, well played, well played. Vacated the pallet immediately. Had Ghostface swinging at air, nonetheless. The exposed hit. Pallet burn city. A lot of pallets are gone, but so have 2 gens, so still lots of work to do. Okay, thrilling tremors. Not being active on Shack means that there's someone in there moving this gen. Now, we're going to approach from this side. Oh, really? Good lord. They had the idea that we were coming this way, apparently. Damn shame. The one thing you do like is you have some mark on all of the remaining standing survivors. Reveal on hook is a good play. Turn the corner. You might have to play around the hook a little bit if you're ghosty. Try and get another hook stage out of this. Try and deny them the save. And there's an exposed. No, they just reveal us before we get the exposed. The only thing to do then is to, I guess, wait until you've got the mark back. You're not taking the M1 on Sable, not until you can get the exposed hit. So you kind of fake out the tunnel, I suppose, and then really quickly, if you're going pallet, I mean, what else are we to do? Yeah, pallet out there. It's an incredibly rough start for Ghostface. Among a slew of 4K performances, this one is going awfully. You're going to get exposed. You're going to get a dying state. Okay. And you need to regain some level of control of this one, because this one is moving away from Ghostface at a rate of knots. Tremors. That's the gen. That's the gen. This is the value of thrilling tremors, by the way. It tells you which gen is being worked on. More or less all it does, but it does have some value. And you can't quite see them, and they get the gem before the mark can go through. It's an appalling game for Ghostface. There are at least 2 Michaelas here. Injured party. Michaela blocking for Michaela. You got no way out. You got nothing for the end game. It might be slugs ahoy here. Just do anything you can to keep this game on side. I say there, but no doubt about it, you do not hook. You do not hook. You need to keep these gates stalled. Okay, injury here. Doubling back. The gate is already 99'd. Oh, it wasn't, but it will be. The injured parties. You're the injured party. Hello. Okay. Dying state there. Gotta hook you, because we can't have anyone crawling out. If one person crawls out for Ghostface, it is all over. Confirmed. Scratch marks here. They get the unhook here. It's all over. Confirmed. Stealth it up. Trying to see if there's anyone moving in for a potential save. Where's the healing going on? Somewhere around here. There they are. Okay. Trying to not get revealed. You get revealed anyway. There has been just an unbelievable level of revealing here. Really denying the ability of the Ghostface to get anything going into the mark. You gotta hope that Michaela doesn't leave. Maybe tries to stay and get the Sabo. That could be good. Hook here. First hook. If Michaela leaves, it's all over. She got to try and find a way to not let them leave. Maybe they don't anticipate the stealth play here. Okay, unhook there. You will have endurance. But there's nothing you can do. Ghostface, it has been absolutely demolished on this one. A demolition job. Not quite the worst performance of the tournament, but not far off. 4 hooks. Sedako, who has taken ownership of Group G with an exemplary 12-4 victory. Let's get that all sorted. By points and then by hooks, both descending. Sedako has first place, followed by Wraith and Blight, 1 point apiece, and Ghostface on the bottom. On the bottom, so a tough start for Ghostface. No doubt about it. So I did say that we were done with round 1. Due to the inclusion of the Krasu here, we are not done with round 1. We now go to Group H. Group H has Dredge, Dark Lord, Xenomorph, Skull Merchant, and now Krasu, who's joined the ranks. We start with the Dark Lord versus the Xenomorph. Very, very, very interesting matchup here. We'll see who comes out on top. Right, you go bats, and it's the World Cup. I've woken up. It's the Dark Lord. It's Yamaoka. And it's Killer Shack. Early teleport. Maybe overshot the potential survivor here, who may have gone into this tile. Can't be too sure. Not seeing too much there. Okay, bit of a slow start for Dracula. We're all feeling a bit dozy this morning. Away he goes. Movement here. The injury. You might consider wolf form in a situation like this. Get the Centaur out there, go for a pounce, go for the charge, and they're going to get the window. And then hold, and send. Not a bad move. You wouldn't have the pounce back in time, however, is the only thing. Ooh, but it doesn't matter. Okay, like a little bit mind game themselves there. So that will be Drax's first hook, looking for pain res. And finds it. A decent start. A decent start. Needs to keep on the gems here. Needs to keep pressure up. As there is some movement upstairs. That was the pain res gen. That's regressing. Okay, in lieu of any other intel, Dracula's gonna head back to the hook and put some pressure on whoever got the unhook. Maybe force out some body blocks. Who did get the unhook? Who got the unhook? He doesn't want a tunnel here, but if he's not got the choice, he'll go for it. There's a stun. Tough one, tough one, tough one, tough one. There's a gem pops. Which one? All the way in that corner. Oh, there's a Cupidzoe. Not able to find anyone. Unfortunately, he's got to go elsewhere. It threatens to be a very slow start if he doesn't get an injury soon. Scratch marks leading nowhere. It's a gem pressing. There was someone right on it. As they vote, it's Michaela again. He just can't find anyone else right now. Can Dracula? Pallet in the wilderness right there. That's a new one. So there's the injury. Going wolf form. Just entirely lost where they were on that one. Getting the centaur moving around. As Michaela doubles back. Good play. Bound to feel bad if you're Michaela here, taking a lot of aggro. Oof. But doing well enough to avoid the Hellfire. Things are going from bad to worse for Dracula. It might end up being good that he's going for the tunnel here, albeit unwittingly. You get the Cupidzoe to do anything. Value from the meme add-on. No value from the meme add-on.
Stop me.
This is atrocious for Dracula. Many would have had him as a front runner. And there you go, the cube sparing his blushes. That's a 2-gen game. Appalling stuff here. Needs to find someone else and does so. The first time he sighted anyone who isn't Michaela, and 3 gens have popped. Absolutely outrageous. And they're fleeing the scene, okay. Not in a rush here, just going after them M1 style. Maybe you might be saying there's more that Dracula could be doing. Is it disillusionment that has him playing so lethargically? Who can say? Hellfire here, not quite going to get it. All they're doing is stopping and staring, and right now that's enough. A gift. A gift for Dracula. Sideways grab, very strange. Is it a bit risky to try and make pain res happen? The whiff there is awful. And they smell blood, so they're going for the body block. Michaela moving in. Hang on, the Cupidzoe. All of a sudden, die save for Cupidzoe. Injury on Michaela. My God. One purple add-on may have just turned this game around for Dracula. The vault there. Wow. That is absolutely phenomenal. Where's the injured party? Right here. Getting another hook. Certainly can go for pain res here. Not sure how important that will be. Could it be a Sabo play? It is not a Sabo play. Well, and Dracula will be very grateful for these hooks. And very grateful for the add-on that he ran in making it happen. Checking out this gen over here. No movement on it. The other gens are on the other side. Oh, Oh, you'd love to have to teleport back in a situation like that. Moving up. Reasonable gem movement there. Michaela injured. And Death Hook here. Hellfire to keep him away from the window. It does. M1 could be on the table. They've got a pallet here. Do they get it? They do not. Is it dead hard? It is not. It'll be a kill before the gens are fully completed. And when you do something like that as killer, you always have a chance. Unbelievable. Remember as well, No Way Out still on the horizon for him. There is endgame potential here for Drac. Getting the kick. Checking on this gem, which he's not been able to do so far. Just a visual check. No movement there. Exactly what he wanted. Up he goes. The unhook over here. Ada's still injured. Is there a heal under the hook going on? No. Aggression here. No one around that he can see. Teleports into the pallet, which of course is within his power to do. This gem moving once again. Gonna get another kick out there. Now, who's this he's chasing? Is it the injured party? Well, they've got a fog valve. It is the injured party! And Hellfire does connect! Yet another situation, possibly, where the fog valve not that important. And maybe thinking about pain res up on the hill. Does Ada still have a pain res token to give? Either case, he doesn't think it's viable. Hard to disagree. Back to the other gem. There is more movement here, plenty more movement. Worth a look. There's the unhook. How quickly can he get back? Where is the teleport opportunity? Because going in on this chase could be very, very important. As this is where the injured Ada is. Wanting a 2-survivor game here is Drac, ideally before that last gem pops. Listening out for injured parties. Gem pops on the other side of the map. Teleporting ahead to the window. Not quite able to do so. The cube not going to do anything. No Way Out active. He has time, does Dracula. Not a lot of time. But sometime they don't burn the pallet. Unbelievable restraint to not burn that pallet. However, how do you avoid the Hellfire here if you're Ada? You don't. You don't. So, halfway on the No Way Out meter. Gonna get another death hook here. You are kind of preying on altruism, and altruism might be what you're getting if you're Dracula. They go for the torch save. They're not gonna get that. Now, all of a sudden, there is a survivor around Shack. Could be a great opportunity for another quick injury, potentially a hook. Maybe before they have the opportunity to get on these gates. But not quite able to see where they've gone. Okay. Back to platform. Keeping that pallet has been so important. There's a scream. Someone back there, scene partner, revealing their location. Dark Lord not able to capitalize. As there is someone moving over to the gate panel. And they flee in the other direction. The other survivor could very well be moving the other gate. In fact, this survivor went off to the corner! Could have gone Hellfire there for a more efficient way of dealing with that. No matter. Dropped in the pallet and then the Hellfire. Gotta be a slug here if you're Dracula. We've seen so many games result in 12 hook stay situations. The gate's open. Okay. Not going to make anything happen with V. The only thing you're hoping for is potentially altruism. Ruining the day for them. So there's the pickup, going for the hook. They might also fear Blood Warden here. They might leave, and they do. So, how many hook states will that be for Dracula? Just the one on V who escaped, so that should be a 10 hook game. It will be, yeah. 10 hook game for Dracula. Not appalling. Wreckers for Xenomorph. Remember, interesting setup this. 10 hook stages required. So Xenomorph needs a good game, even a great game, but doesn't necessarily need the 4K. Here we go. Down into the tunnels. Need that crawler mode. It is desperately important. Listening for gens. Listening for footsteps. Watching for footsteps. And there you go. And great opening. Ah, you're going to lose crawler mode to a turret. Didn't even notice the turret until it was too late. Break the door. Felix. Goes window. Might double back. Doesn't. And that is a very, very tough turret there. That turret has denied... Oh, hang on! Never mind! What is Quentin doing? I was going to say that turret has denied Xenomorph a fantastic start, but Quentin has handed it back to the Xenomorph. Bit of a throw there. Right, back into the tunnel. Great hook, great pain res. And probably want to get over through the middle to the other side. See what's what. The unhook. Okay, never mind. Up you go. It's a very quick unhook, and you want to punish unhooks like that if you're Xenomorph. A very quick unheal. Very quick heal, however. And you've just found Quentin, unfortunately. A whiff like that, probably deserved. Go for the other survivor. Go for another pain res hook. Do something else, says the Xenomorph camper to the Xenomorph. And the Xenomorph responds, you know, as best you can. And they've got a pallet here. No crew drop. There you go. Another great tail attack. And another quick hook. And another pain res token. Well worth doing. There will be 1 or 2 people working on gens now. You want to make their life as miserable as possible. What a shame! Making a calculated call, Xenomorph, is very risky. They get it. And honestly, we'll see whether that's a good or bad decision. But they were like, if that gen pops... Oh, and they should have gone for pain res. There was another gen. Moving at pace. Bad call from Xenomorph. Anticipating only 1 gen moving, there was in fact 2. What a shame. What a shame. Okay. So there's no movement over there. Really liking the new lighting on these gens, seeing the movement from a distance. Tail attack connects! Denies live for Jonah there. Decent move. And the main thing for Xenomorph here, you can't be rattled by that misplay. If you get that pain res hook, you stop that gen, maybe it's a 4-gen game. Can't be rattled, got to keep on doing your thing, and that's what she's doing here. Good stuff. Up to the hook. Remember, you do have Alien Instinct as well. You've got aura reading over here. And Felix running right into danger. There's another tail attack. They're not doing too much against this tail attack. Pivoting to the pallet. No, they move away. They prefer this pallet. The pallet on which they were defeated moments ago. Will the same happen again? Oh, that tree. A ruinous thing. Good stuff there. If they find a way to crouch. They don't get hit, but unfortunately for them, they do not. Good stuff from Xenomorph. Up on the pain res hook. Not making the same mistake again, just getting those pain res stacks out there. And more aura reading. And an injury through the pallet. Jonah running headlong. Not seeing what was going on there. Takes a strange line. Tail attack is back. This could be something very, very special from Xenomorph. As Jonah goes window. Xenomorph just didn't quite have the wherewithal to go. Tail attack does there, but it doesn't connect. Jonah somehow, a Jar Jar Binksian effort here, in spite of many bungles, making a loop happen. They avoid the window. Could be dead hard. Hold off if you're Xenomorph. Hold off, and then send it. Alright. Jonah already had a pain res token expended. So scratch marks right here. As there goes Felix. Need to find a way into the tunnel. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. I was going to say that Xenomorph needs to find a way into the tunnel to get the crawler mode back, but they find it well enough ambiently without the use of a tunnel. As Quentin could be a key target here. No, you want to go after Felix, don't you? Felix is Death Hook. No matter. Oh, horrible whiff there. Horrible whiff. And big mistake in going after Quentin. Been a decent game for Xenomorph, but some really bad mistakes in terms of decision making could be hamstringing his effort here. Her effort, sorry. Injury on Felix. Death Hook on the horizon if she can close this down. Holding, holding, holding. And... oh, trying to put the tail between the rock and the tree. Threading the needle, it doesn't matter. Gets the pallet out of the deal as well. So, barring any silliness, it will be the first kill. And it is looking pretty despondent for Dracula fans. What you might even be thinking about, if you're Xenomorph, is going after V, the only survivor without any hook stages. Because the only way you might consider this game in peril is if, as there are footsteps there, is if a survivor with 0 hooks goes down, oh, unfortunate, goes down the hatch. That would be a loss for Xenomorph. So maybe V is the key target. We'll see. We'll see how they play this. Wrong way. Oh, it says footsteps. This probably is still Quentin. No, it's V! It's V, talk of the devil. Oh. Some big misses after a good early game from Xenomorph. There's been M1. Moving around the tile. Nice, good play. Good play. And you're going to go pain res here. Don't want to get too cocky if you're Xenomorph. 2 gens left now, even though it's just 3 survivors. Every chance they bring this back, certainly go pain res in case there is a nasty surprise waiting for you over yonder. Great 3 gen here. That is for sure. Brilliant 3 gen. And while they're all relatively quiet, why not head over here to see if you can find any footsteps, find any survivors. And there is indeed, it's Quentin. Tail attack. Oh, great dodge, but well done from Xenomorph, blocking out Quentin. They vote back, they do! Oh. Strange noise from me, and an unfortunate whiff from Xenomorph. Just not quite losing tail attack there. Gotta be really careful here now. Good connection. Gotta be really careful here, because the 3 gen over on the other side of the map is what you want to guard. As you will be able to. Heading back now. Oh, the pallet. That's right, the pallet. Not quite gone. A bit sparse on the old control stations here. One thing that might be a trifle concerning. Regardless, back among the 3 gen. And there you go. There's the gen aura intensity as dictated by the add-on. Tail attack just connects. And just connects. That was right on the very edge of the effective range. Another turret. The turrets are being a bit ruinous for Xenomorph here, but that one doesn't impact her too much. Now, if they vault, the tail attack is on offer. GG. GG. That will be the 9th hook. Assuming it goes through, which it will. So, as it stands, it is still a win for the Dark Lord. 1 more hook stage for anyone. And it will be a draw. 2 more hook stages. It's a win for Xenomorph. And in all sincerity, why would you do anything other than play it very, very safe here? There's the unhook. Jonah. Good injury immediately. And looks like there was some chivalry there trying to run interference. And that'll be a dying state. So, the 10th hook stage coming up. And the best that Dracula can do now is a draw. And in all sincerity, that is looking like a mighty unlikely event. Quentin on the gen. Oh, flame turret. They've certainly been getting their flame turrets out there. V, injured party. Runs headlong into danger. Can't get to the pallet. M1. Now, this will be the win for Xenomorph if they get this hook, which they will. Victory, 3 points, go to Xenomorph. Now, hook differential is still very important, so you want to deny hatch. Hook differential can be key going into endgame considerations. If points are tied, we go to hook differential. Oh, but unfortunately, Quentin beats Xenomorph in the race, so it will be 11 hook stages. Enough to get the win, but let's see if that missed hook stage towards the end of the group stages has an impact. GG. Go to the spreadsheet. Dark Lord with 10 hook stages. Xenomorph with 11. It's the only matchup in which neither party got the 4K. Very interesting matchup there. So we go now to Dredge versus Skull Merchant. And this now will be the final game of round 1. Alright, Dredge on thingy, Temple of Purgation. Oh, and there's your team. And there's no lockers over here. Damn shame. That's one area in which this map is kind of tough. Lack of lockers. Could have been Sprint Burst there. Thankfully, it isn't for Dredge. And looking for a nice early dying state here. Ooh, that was close. Need to be a bit more careful with how they play the pallets for sure. SV takes chase. Window here, just vaulting after his Dredge. Lithe for them makes a lot of sense. As they keep on going to Shack. They do. They burn Shack pallet. Alright. If you're Dredge, I think you're saying that's good enough. See what they're doing after the fact. What you want to do is maybe head back to this gen, which you know is moving. You do get at least that save best for last stack. That gen isn't moving. A surprise, okay. You do at least get that save best for last stack out there. This gen moving here, okay. Get the kick for sure. Alright, a slower start. You want to come out of your first Nightfall at least with a dying state. If you don't get that, things might be looking pretty grim down the line. SV gets the pallet, moves around it. Could be an injury here. Yep, the wall just extended further than they thought. And Dredge, oh, faking out the pallet again. That's way too risky, and that should be a dying state. It is. Big surge here. There could be someone here for a pallet save. Dredge just going to pick up and hope it isn't an issue. And it isn't. Got kind of lucky so far, Dredge, but hasn't had too much consideration of who is or isn't the obsession. Needs to be thinking about that as they continue on this game. Getting the kick on the gem. Turning the corner, and this is the obsession, so leaving them alone. Seeing if maybe someone goes in for the unhook. No, gem pops over here, so there could be another survivor looking to move in. Got a flurry of locked gens here. Get rid of that. And, oh, again. Very nearly just playing it too riskily on the pallet. Double blind. Fair enough. Fair enough. Decent play from them. And that's the obsession again. Okay. Head over here. You want to put some pressure on this gen, which you imagine they'll be going back to as a priority. And it has stopped progressing. A shame. Good injury. Oh, and they move away from the pallets. That will be a dying state. Very happy to swing through as the Dredge. Worst case scenario, dead hard, and that just gives Dredge another save best for last stack. And that is, if you're the Dredge camp, and you're looking to keep morale high, keep spirits up, you're going to point to save the best for last. 5 stacks at this early stage is very, very good. If Dredge can stay regimented, stay away from the obsession, keep those stacks, keep cultivating them, it could be a very, very, very good endgame. Need to not hit the obsession. Which one's the obsession? You don't know. You're guessing it's this one is not the obsession. Great call from Dredge. Okay, 6 stacks. You could kick the gen. You might prefer the option of getting surge, but that's not going to be on the table, unfortunately. Unless you can push them back, which is what Dredge is going to try to do here. However, you are a little bit concerned about how this pallet looks. Obsession runs away. Get a kick. Break the lock. Darkness Revealed hasn't been too much of a factor so far. Get the search, see if you find anyone. Yes, there goes. Your non-obsession moving in for the unhook. Great opportunity here for Dredge. There's the unhook. Love a trade here. Nice. Another brilliant surge hit as well. 7 stacks. Another hook. Back over to this gem, which has been the threat. Ooh, that one pops. I was surprised. At least that one's still regressing. Injury, but it's on the obsession. Oh, didn't know for sure who it was. Decided to take the swing. And it's not the end of the world. Still 5 stacks. And you get an injury. And the injury is important. Medium vault there. Lithe. Not the end of the world. Do they vault again? They do not. And they flee the scene. Really, really good play from Fung there. Dropping the pallet, moving on. This is an audacious teleport. See if it works out for Dredge. It definitely does not. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world. Back on Fung. They're throwing damn near everything here. Keeping Dredge at arm's length. That, again, might really benefit Dredge. Don't be surprised if there was a huge endgame here for Dredge. Another gem pops. Looking to get back to 7 stacks. Will do so. Unlikely to be any surge value here. And all of a sudden, Feng Ming might be a key target for Dredge. Needing a survivor out of here with only 2 gens remaining. Okay. Basically hoping for Killer Instinct, finding it on this gen. Injured party is the obsession, but you need a dying state. You need a dying state, so you take that trade every day of the week. 2 stacks for another hook. And an opportunity to keep the game stalled further, 100%. Just swinging by all these gens. Oh. And they were not aware of the Dredge's presence. So there's something approaching a free hit here, and as we were saying, Feng Min is such a target for the Dredge here. And they've gone for the non-vault side. Great news for Dredge. Pallet here, presumably. No! They're in trouble. They get the vault. Oh. And live thereafter. You've got to go in on this if you Dredge. Dissolution, finally! Doing something. As they don't go for the shack window, they go for the Z-wall. Is Dredge about to be Z-walled? Do they burn immediately? They do. The panic sets in. The pallet thrown. That'll be the first kill. And with still 2 gens remaining, pretty good game state for Dredge. Especially with how set up they are for this endgame. Get the hook and see what's what. Gen over there. Big gen movement here. Got to put a stop to it. Scratch marks heading this way. Injured party. Massive opportunity. Oof. Well played by the obsession. Very well played by the obsession. Not badly played by Dredge either. Surge here is so important. Oh, Dead Hard is ruinous for Dredge. You're going to have to lose double the amount of stacks. It delays a dying state. That gen's still concerning. This obsession is ruining Dredge's life. Not a lot of remnant coming out from Dredge. That is important to note. They're maybe not feeling too confident with it right now. Like this, for instance, would have been a great situation for the remnant. They don't get it out there. Dying state, finally. Surge on that gen. Getting a hook. But what a Dead Hard. And now 3 stacks to save best for last. The end game not looking quite as generous for Dredge as it otherwise could be. Check out downstairs gen. No movement. Check out upstairs gen. They are moving it. Okay. Both parties are here. That is so huge for Dredge. No, one party's here because someone has got the unhook. An entire misread from me. I apologize for it. Is he finally going to start using his remnant? Nope, they just move away from the pallet. They keep on moving. Remember, it's dissolution. So 1 volt and they're done. Never mind. I continue to not know how dissolution works. Remnant in the pallet. Moving around. They flee the scene. To another pallet. Dying state. But that might have been a bit too much time. You wouldn't be surprised if that gem were to pop. You've got Nightfall. Oh, but it's not enough. Go, 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 go. Put pressure on them as quickly as you can. Have to imagine that both parties were working on that gen. Someone on the gate! It's a non-obsession, so you get another stack. The beacon! The beacon! You really want to run Dredge for as long as you can here. The beacon means that you don't get the pallet. Could that beacon be pivotal? Gonna slug here, gonna go over. To the hook. Need to get that teleport. Gets it. The lock locker is a damn shame. But it still seems like the right play for Dredge. 2 parties over here. Are you going all in on the slug? You really might be if you Dredge here. You really might be. The vault. Live. Shouldn't be too much of an issue here. Okay. Is your obsession on the gate? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Obsession is not going for the heal there. Okay, taking the hook. There's a kill. Obsession gets the pick up on the non-obsession over here. Is the gate 99? Surely not with everything else they've had to be doing. 2 parties. Obsession to the right, non-obsession to the left. Gotta grab to the non-obsession. Gotta grab to the injured party. Maybe another slug. Maybe try and locate the obsession thereafter. Good stuff. If you're the obsession, you're surely thinking about a way to get that gate moving. Dredge gonna follow. Again, we know how important 4Ks are. On their tail. Good injury. Quick recovery. And it might be all she wrote for this one. Can V find a pallet? Doesn't look like it. Remember, they've got Dead Hard. Remnants fake it out. There it is. GG. Barring any unbreakable silliness. That is the full 12 hook stages for Dredge. As long as you can find your dying state survivor, as long as they don't crawl their way over to the hatch, they will not. Ooh, GG. What a game from Dredge, and all to do here for Skull Merchant. Bashing the lock with a flourish. A job well done for the Dredge. Okay, Macmillan for Skull Merchant. Drones out there early doors. Here, there, and everywhere. Not too fussed about where they go, just making sure they're in the trial. Vaguely trying to put them in loop areas. Ooh. Okay. Well. There's a pallet burnt immediately. Thwack over here. Calm spirit, it looks like. No noises made by them. Someone on that gen as well. Okay, good to know. Injury. Maybe get the injury. Move over here. You've got leverage. You've got Sloppy Butcher. You've got that anti-heal build. Spreading out injury seems good. And they just flee the tile. Good stuff from them. Drone right here. And getting the injury. They'll be a little bit annoyed by that. No doubt about it. And a DC from Jill, who remains apparently not a fan of Skull Merchant. No scratch marks here for V. Gotta be a Shadow Step Boom out there somewhere. Pivoting away. Going after Sable. Gotta be Sprint Burst. There it is. But not taking the best of lines. Maybe burns pallet immediately? No, good play. Good play. Get a kick. Oh, they're definitely trying to put a lot of pressure on these gens. You want to keep them here. You want to keep this chase in the midst of all these gens. And also get some drone value from them. That's good. So there goes the first gen against Skull Merchant. Maybe a bit of a slow start, in all sincerity. Need to start getting hooks. Need to start activating leverage. That gen isn't moving. Don't know what she's thinking. Rattled, possibly. Back to the gens that are moving. Maybe get this door kicked. Open up main a little bit. Oh, there's another gen pops. There's another gen pops. Where have they gone thereafter? This way, okay. Well, at least some good work done on the pallets here. Not much to loop if you're Jill. And that'll be the first hook. As that's the bot, it all begins to make sense. It is an early DC. Considering the state of the game, the board are letting the Skull Merchant play on. In all honesty, the Skull Merchant camp might have wanted them to call this one off, but they're not going to. As a drone goes away here, but no intel. No intel as to where the survivor may be. Says your injured party. There's Sable. Taking Skull Merchant over to Shack here. But moving away from Shack, going for the 4 lanes tile. Putting a drone slap bang in the middle of it, getting the unstickability, and that seems to have done the trick. Getting the injury, coming back. Actually, oh god. Picking up as soon as possible to try and prevent the pallet stun. Which she does. Big regression there from Surge. Scratch marks fleeing the scene. Need to find something to build off if you're the Skull Merchant, and although it's not a great situation, that hook could be a turning point. Get the drone out there. Push them back towards it. And not going to get anything done with that. Live will take them away from the tile. Good injury. Nice. Little moonwalk around the Godfiller pallet, enough to elicit the Vault. It's a good move from Skull Merchant. A real veteran move there. It belies the pretty bad game they've had up to this point. Another drone, near middle. Decent 3-gen. Honestly, decent 4-gen for Skull Merchant here. But it's one thing having a good gen situation. It's another taking advantage of it. Let's see if she can do that. No drones is unfortunate, but there's an injury. And a DC, but for who? It looks like for them. Yeah, big latency there. Could that be a turning point? Is it internet woes that turn this game around for the Skull Merchant? We will see. Wow. Okay, so hook here. Everyone has one hook stage. It would be great if you had pain rares or no way out or something that benefited from that. As it stands, Skull Merchant might be ruining this kind of non-meta build they've brought in here. It says an injury. Sable, over-committing to the gen. Get some good distance here, but that is a bit of a freebie for the Skull Merchant. And with this build, of course, all injuries are very, very important. As there's an injured party with the bot. Gonna go back after the injured party, get a kick. As middle gen pops, unfortunately. One gen left, very little margin for error. But talking of errors, this team have begun to make errors in bucketfuls. So they run around the pallet, big mistake there, dead hard, nope. Dying state, second hook stage. The first survivor to reach second hook stage. When you've got one gen left, that's not the kind of stat you want to hear. However, getting the hook. Getting the kick. Thwack out there. Shows you one survivor off to the right who's able to stop this gen regressing, but the damage has been done. Look at that. This gen was a real pressure point. Now it is just a small murmur in the wind. Barely any progress on it at all. Got to check on this one. And there is much more movement here. Sable walking around. Sprint burst for sure. And there they'll go. But then you've got another injured party around the left-hand side. It's V trying to get back to the gen. They won't be able to. Nothing over here. Pallets completely demolished. Barring dead hard, it'll be a dying state. And a little fake out there. And there you go. Can you get this hook before that gem pops? Maybe the slug would have been a good call. Remains to be seen. Maybe an injured Sable who's just used their sprint burst is in no rush to get back to the gen. Oh, they both get away from it. Wow. Music to the Skull Merchant's ears. They don't commit. They really should have. They've given Skull Merchant a definitive means back into the game with that one. Injured party over here. Sable moving in. How confidently do they play this? Do they pre-drop? They do. They love a pre-drop. Getting the kick. Thwack here going to be important. One person going back to the hook. Sable up ahead. Injured party to the left. Who's the better chase target? Probably the party to the left. They've got double window, but that's it. Get the drone out there. Get the unstectability. No red stain. And just really tough to play it if you're a survivor in that situation. Don't think there's any dead hard here. Dying state. It will be the first kill. Surge on that middle gen is important. But that's not the big pressure point. The big pressure point is the distant gen over there. Unlikely that the Sables found a way to get back on it. The people who got the unhook might have moved over there. They did, and there goes the gen. So, she's in with a chance, especially considering how atrocious the early game was. But still plenty to do. Has the bot here. The bot's not who you want to go for. No chance that anyone's going to stick around to save the bot. Injured party up ahead. Great opportunity here. Does the bot get back on the gate? The bot is concerning now. The bot is very concerning because they're going to be on the gate, and as soon as they leave, it's game over. But then if Sable's on this gate, it's game over in this direction. It feels like Skull Merchant has left herself too much to do. The gate is open, and it's all over. GG. Just too slow of an early game. Nothing she could do in the end game. And it's a win for the Dredge. Skull Merchant is... it needs a rework. Good lord, needs that rework that we've been talking about for so long. GG. Dredge gets the win with 12 hook stages. Skull Merchant suffers her first loss. With only 7 hooks to her name. Sort by points, and then hooks, both descending. Dredge on top, based on hook differential there, with 3 points. Xenomorph also got the win, also has 3 points, but takes second place due to the lower number of hooks. Dark Lord in third, and Skull Merchant in 4th. Krasu will play her first game. In round 2, that'll be Xenomorph versus Krasu. Nice.